We're live. Yes, indeedy we are. Oh. Wait, why would that have jumped me there? I'm not sure, but that's okay. That's okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let's go. We gotta grab thing. I love thing. Oh, there we go. That's what we need. Get that open. It's gonna be loud, so we want to turn that down. Juice up the stuff. That's pretty loud still. All right, we can just jump right ahead. So it is Hero versus Rainer. Yeah, that's all there is to it. All right, we're going to run a couple minutes of ads first. Rainer versus Hero. Oh, I was going to put myself on Liquipedia. Oh, I need to change this to that. It also feels like I should have restarted my PC, but here we are, and we didn't. And that's okay. Oh, okay. There they are. It's the gents. I'm ready to get hurt. I'm ready to get hurt by a ZVP. Yes, they were already played. All right, there they go. Spawning up at the top right for Weibo Gaming, it's Hero. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left, it's Basilisk Rainer. Quick into it. Quick into the action. They don't mess around. The World Team League gents. They do not mess around. Now we are going to be seeing an Extractor Trick 15 hatch. Start things off. Raynor does not want to get hatch blocked. And Hero... Well, this actually wasn't in time to get a hatch block. No, it wasn't. Yeah, 48 seconds. That won't get you a hatch block against normally timed setups these days. But against an Extractor Trick 15 hatch, I mean, it's better for Hero, I guess, that it's a slightly later scout. These two, they have themselves quite a history. I gotta say, Raynor has had a difficult time with Hero in recent history. Hero seems to really just kick it into an extra gear, an extra notch when he's up against Raynor. And that was before the most recent patch that has really swung this matchup into Protoss' favor, especially if it goes to the super late game where there's motherships, Tempest, Storm. Things get real difficult. Things get real difficult. To put it in perspective, of the last 10 times that Hero and Raynor have met, Hero was one... Sorry, of the last 9 times that Hero and Raynor have met, Hero has won 8 of them. Now we are going to be seeing a Stalker chronoed out first. And, man, that gets out at a fast timing thanks to the 3-second buff to the Stalker build time. But fortunately for Raynor, of course, he was in position there. It is going to be Stalker into Adept into Stargate. Now, the Stargate is going to be much later than normal because of the extra gas allocation to that Stalker. But you're still going to be able to get an Oracle out relatively quickly, and that should allow you to secure the third base. Honestly, with the Spore damage buff, I don't think you necessarily need to worry as much about getting that early damage. I think it's more so just about securing that third base, like I said. Stalker actually being a little bit aggressive. A normal opener is not going to have link speed until 3:30, but with this opener, with the Extractor Trick hatch first, which Hero knows that it is, he knows that it won't be out onto the map until probably 4 minutes. And in this case, he is correct. So he's going to be able to bully for a little bit. Gets the first creep tumor. That's very nice. Already putting a lot of damage into this Stalker. Or pardon me, not into this Stalker. Into this Queen. And this is... I mean, it's not the worst start for Raynor I've ever seen, but it's definitely not a comfortable one. Especially considering... technically speaking, no actual units have died. It's just been that creep tumor. No energy recharge used on that Oracle. At least not to start things off. Oh, wow, this is interesting. He takes the forward high-yield gas base here on ley lines. You have to mine out those minerals around the gas geyser. 150 minerals, which is 30 trips or 6 trips with a mule. Definitely one spot where Terran gets a bit of an advantage. If you mule that up, it will get mined out much quicker, obviously. And you can still stack an SCV on there, so that's even... you drop it down to 5 mule trips. Now we are going to be seeing a triple Oracle opener. Raynor did take the vertical base, but that early creep tumor getting killed off means that the queens don't actually connect. And now, oh, he barely is on creep for that one transfuse, but that wounded queen from earlier does ultimately fall. Adepts end up shading forward, and it looks like... Wait, did one of them shade forward? Just one? Oh, that's weird. Huh, okay. He recalled it out, though, and he did save it. We are going to be seeing, of course, that fast +1 melee, and it will be a quick layer behind it from Raynor. I believe he skipped Roach Warren here, which is best case scenario if your opponent's not going for, like, Glaive Adepts or something like that. You can still try and play Roach Ravager Link Bane, but it's a lot more difficult than it used to be. A lot of times players are going for those Hydras. We're going to see Raynor ending up adding on that Roach Warren, so Maybe he's still going to go for this. I will say, even on this map, we probably won't see it because it's Raynor. But if this was dark, I would not have been surprised to have seen a Queen walk build with this. Hold that thought. We are going to see a big shade into the main base. Lings will try and get in on the third, but the Adepts are getting a lot of damage in the main. Actually, are they? They're not targeting. They're not targeting, and it's the probes that are falling, actually. On the other side of the map, warping in Stalkers was definitely a mistake. No, that's such a weird move. He absolutely should have been warping in Adepts. Oracles will come home, but this is a pretty darn good start for Raynor in terms of the damage. However, the Adepts are still wreaking havoc. Never mind. This is definitely better for Hero. Raynor, if he had managed to stay on top of those Adepts earlier and not let this get out of hand, this would have been really great for the Italian Zerg, but instead he ends up losing 10 drones. And the damage he did on the other side of the map pales in comparison to the damage he's taken. Now, we do see him adding on Overlord speed and 3 Dropper Lords. This is going to be a big push from Raynor, and it has extremely strong kill potential at this point. This looks like it should just work. So much of this defense for Hero is hinging on those Oracles. And, well, with Queens there, and no battery overcharge anymore, not going to be easy to defend. Lings do have their +1 melee. Roach is being added on. That shield battery is low on HP. It's going to go down. Force field going to do very little to stop this. And I think this is just game. Oracles are going to get recalled here, but so many probes have already gone down. There's still a worker lead for now, but, I mean, it's the army supply that tells the absolute truth of this game. And the absolute truth is that Hero is dead on his feet. First Oracle will fall to those Queens. Creep being dropped, which is going to allow for the transfuses. And Raynor's going to take game 1 with a very strong push. Oh, even a Ling dropping in the main base, getting so much damage done. This is a picture-perfect game number 1 for Raynor. Even with the loss of a bunch of those drones, I mean, this was the perfect setup for him. And Hero with a really nice body block here. Okay, Raynor maybe shouldn't stack up all those Lings on those 3 Archons. But even if this gets cleaned up at this point, there's not anything Hero can do. He's down so many workers. Raynor can drone. He can keep building units. There's no wrong answer as long as he executes. And that is what is going to happen here. Going to depower the gateways at the front in a moment. Also should be able to kill that Templar Archives. Really nice micro from Hero on the Archons. Very low on shields, but still alive. Thanks to that War Prism and good control. But yeah, this is just not... There's just nothing that can be done at this point for Hero. But I've said that before, and I've been wrong. I don't think I'm wrong this time, though. Even still, like, those 3 Archons are still somehow alive, and the supplies, they do not lie. It's completely over. And yeah, as the probes pull into the +1 melee Lings and the natural, they're going to get absolutely massacred. Still, 2 of the Archons survive. And Raynor does not get the satisfaction of killing them, but he does get a game 1 victory. The feed is worse than normal. You're right. It is worse than normal. It's kind of sucky, actually. Kind of sucky. Kind of terrible, actually, if I'm being honest. It's like really, really bad. Hey, welcome Scorpion SC3. This is a replay cast, Lemon Queasy. Looks like 480p. Yeah, a little bit. It's pretty bad, like the good old days. And just like the good old days, Protoss is broken as fuck. Haha. Oh, I'm really sad that this might actually be the final version of the game. No Archon toilet though? Yeah, but the mothership is broken still. Broken still. It's too bad. All right, here we go. Game 2. There he is. It's Hero. And his opponent spawning up the top right. It is Raynor. Is that a 12 pool? That is a 14 pool. 14 pool. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What's he got on the docket here? It is going to be a gas first, which is usually an indicator of no scout. Raynor, is he going to put a proxy hatch on his opponent's side of the map? Oh, man, this could be a really nasty play from Raynor. So he was looking right there for a scouting probe. He is just going to expand behind this. But he is going to attempt to put on some pressure with those lings. Going to build the lings first since he has not been scouted. This, I feel like on paper, this should go so well for Raynor. Surely you just keep building lings. Hero no scouting this is as bad as it gets for the Protoss. This is terrible. If this were a 12 pool, I would actually say this is probably game over. Will the 14 pool be late enough, though? Oh, and it's no scout after the cyber. That means he cannot build a zealot either. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is so bad for Hero. Now, the only thing is that it's not a 12 pool. It's a 14 pool. So once again, it's hitting... What is this going to be like? 10 seconds later? Okay, we are going to see the probe turn around. Can he get a full wall? Chrono starts up on that zealot. Oh, no. Go right after the pylon. Probes should be pulled from Hero. He gets... That probe scout might have just saved his bacon. That might have just saved his bacon big time. It's going to be a lot of lost mining time. This is still going to be likely good for Hero. Or for Raynor, I should say. As I say that, Hero gets a great surround. Oh, my God. That was... That was terrible, actually. That was so bad for Raynor. He gets a second probe there. But, oh my God, that was 6 lings for 1 probe. I think I still maybe even like this better for... he's building a lot of drones. This isn't a 12 pool, remember. This is a 14 pool. This might still be better for Raynor. That was a lot of lost mining time for Hero. And Raynor is already ahead in workers. But, of course, he does not have a third hatch. I can't believe he killed just 1 probe with those first few units. Oh, man. I really feel like that should have been so much more damage. Even if he just kept him not mining for longer, that would have been super worth it. We are going to see 3 queens at the front. Good target fire on the Adept. The Adepts are the big threat here. The Zealot's just trying to tank and distract. You want to force the Zerg to not build drones, and so far he's been able to do that. He's been allowed, that's allowed Hero to catch back up in the worker count. Raynor, I mean, still no third hatch here is actually a really big problem. Just now starts it up. And now with the counter pressure, counter bit of damage, I definitely like Hero's position a little bit better. If he can get a cancel on this third hatch, that would be amazing for him. And you can see he might be thinking Oracle for extra DPS on the hatch, which I think would be a good call. Zealot is putting in so much work onto this. Queens really need to be making sure that Zealot can't get the kill. Okay, now that the Zealot's down, the Adepts do way less damage, but the Oracle is beelining it right for this base. And I think that Oracle's going to show up and force the cancel. Oh, man, good micro so far from Hero. Just zoning with these Adepts. There's the Oracle showing up. The Queens need to go after it. It will get targeted. Both Adepts are going to go down, and that will be a save on the hatch. That's huge for Raynor. Absolutely massive. With how long he'd been holding that, if he had lost it, it would have been a disaster for him in this game. Totally. Totally a disaster. Good stuff from Raynor to get the save there. I do still like the idea that Hero used the Queen. Or the Oracle, I should say. It did mean, though, that the Lings were able to get a free surround on the Adepts, despite the fact that they were slow Lings. Raynor did build a lot of Lings, by the way. Hero, up to 4 gates. Is he just going to warp in a bunch of Adepts? Oracle will turn on its Pulsar Beam. Yeah, I really like Raynor. This is just such a weird game. I feel like I've said 3 times, like, oh, I like this player's position. Oh, now I like this player's position. Ling's going to be running by it. Will be +1 melee once again. Raynor is starting to drone up that 3rd base as he's finished it. Of course, has that layer done. This is where the Glaive Adepts can be really scary. But +1 melee, usually not done for these kind of pushes. It will be done this time. Now it's going to be up to Raynor to recognize what is going on. Oracles will get in on top of this 3rd base. Oh, you got to be so careful in range of the Spore. Oh, Hero. Hero overstays, trying to get more damage than he could have gotten. You got to remember the new Spore is freaking jacked. 33% more DPS, more damage overall. And losing that Oracle hurts so bad for Hero, getting just 2 drones for it. Now, Raynor, he is going to have a bit of a difficult time dealing with this. He did build a Baneling Nest, but he needs to see this coming. And he needs to morph some damn Banes. If he morphs like... Okay, there we go. 5 Banes morphing in. Oh, but it's aggressive! No! He needs those defensively. Stasis Ward going to distract here a little bit. Only getting 1 Queen, but that's still going to freeze its energy and stop transfuses. Oh, my God. I think Raynor's just about to get cooked. That's a lot of Lings, but bad surface area. He needed to be on top of that shade. The Lings are going to absolutely melt. +1 melee, so good. But only if you're actually getting the units attacking. And instead, these Glaive Adepts are going to find so much damage. Nice surround on the mineral line there with the Bane counterattack. But if those Banes were at home instead of on the aggression, this game is completely different. Absolutely no way Hero can shade forward into 5 Banes like that. And in fact, with Hero blindly shading like that, if the Banes are just waiting for that... Oh, nice kill. He actually gets the Evo. That's an extra 75 minerals on top of the drone. If Raynor is actually waiting just outside of vision range of the shades, he can blow up half the Adepts right away. And he cleans this attack up with no issue whatsoever. And I think he's in a... Well, I think he's up 2-0 in the series, actually. He was ahead in workers. Another Oracle does fall down, and the 3rd one is low on HP. There is a Stasis Ward back here. Baneling's going to morph in. Adept's going to try and pre-spread. We've actually got Lings being dropped in the middle of the fight. Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. Adepts are going to shade away from the army. The army will make its way... Well, it's not even the army. It's a Prism, an Immortal, and something else. Queens are going to step off creep. They will find the Prism, but Adepts surrounding from the back. Drone starting to fall. And once again, it's the problem of Lings versus Glaive Adepts. Even with +1 melee, which is better than normal, you need to be on top of those shades. You need to get really good surface area, and you need to have the numbers. Now, those Baneling connections were actually pretty good, but there's more Glaive Adepts at the 3rd base. Raynor has bled out drones, and he just doesn't have the units to stay on top of this anymore. Another Prism being rebuilt. Nice micro on that 1 Queen there, pulling it back, getting the transfuse. I do like that recall from Hero. But Hero's now transitioned into Blink. Stalkers, that Blink is done. No upgrades. Hero going to try and Blink to the high ground, I get. Oh, no, he's just going to Blink away. Just lets the Immortal do as much tanking as he can. Getting the max value to the shields as well. I like that late Blink. Yeah, right now this just feels like there's not a whole lot Raynor can do to stop the flood of Protoss. He does have a Hydralisk Den done. But yeah, there's just too many Blink Stalkers, too much Protoss. Hero took a little bit too much, or did a little bit too much damage, and Raynor taps out. Why is the title There Is No Delay? Because there's no delay? Oh, that's just always in the title. Unless there's delay. High test not canceling the hatch? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. This was played earlier, yes. Is there a delay? Good question. If only it said in the chat. But wait, it does. I don't even question that anymore. I just... When people ask something that's in the title, I just answer it. It's just easier at that point. Is this the second time they meet today? No, this is a replay. So technically it is delayed, no? No. The stream is live. It's a replay cast, but the stream is live with no delay. Ah, fair. Yeah, that's fair. Hey, thank you, InfoFox. All right, there we go. Evening the series one apiece. It's Hero. And his opponent's bunny down in the bottom right. He knows that he was counterattacking at a very unfortunate timing. It's Rainer. Thank you, InfoFox, for the tier 1 resub at 38 months. And Kratos for the... Thanks for the clarification. Of course. 20 bits. Rainer going for the extractor trick. It's going to be a 15 hatch here. Gets that down at 45 seconds there. Pretty quick. I think he actually built the extra drone there. Hero looks like he's bathed in the light of the Kala. Bathed in the light of the Kala. Abyssal Reef. Abyssal Reef. What a map. I'm not a fan. I've made this very clear from day one. But that's okay. It's not all about me. It's also about the pros that have to suffer through playing on Abyssal Reef. Yeah, not having the banelings at home is the... Well, actually... There's a couple big missteps in that game. One, now this is definitely played with ping, and Rainer is also playing from somewhere that I know doesn't have the best internet. But the lings at the beginning of the game, getting them surrounded, absolutely took all the wind out of the sails of what could have been an extremely promising attack. But good job from Hero. Hero getting that surround, getting those lings. And he did some nice probe micro to save, I think, a second probe. Only losing one probe in that situation is unbelievably good. Now, I wonder what Rainer's, break-even point for that was. Because he did ultimately get a second probe in the main base. And he did get a lot of lost mining time. And I think... Looking at how the game played out from there, with him being able to hold the third hatch, even if it was just barely, I think that was an okay game state for Rainer. It definitely made it weird, but I think it was pretty even. Or at the very least, it was playable for both. But I feel like with that kind of build order advantage, you don't want it to be playable for the Protoss. You want a monster lead. You want to win the game. Or at least be in a game-winning position. We do see the Stalker moving around. There is a pervert pillar there, but the Overlord will be revealed. And it's going to get taken down. Rainer will get supply blocked by the loss of it, so he has to build up an extra Overlord earlier. Or I guess not even earlier, just in preparation for that supply block. which you would say is earlier, so yeah. Oh, wow, that's a fast layer. Sub 4-minute layer out of Raynor. He's got plans in this game number 3. Raynor definitely, by the way, intended to go very aggressive in game number 2. Obviously, in game number 1, he went for that Ling drop. Well, I guess +1 melee queen drop play. Added the roaches kind of as he was going. A lot of Lings being produced here, actually. Oh, wow. Is this going to be a Nidus Worm? He's going to have 150 gas pretty much as that layer completes. This is something Dark does all the time, and he makes it look so strong. But anytime someone else tries to do it, it feels like it just doesn't have that same power. Feels like Dark's units, when they come out of a Nidus Worm, even his Zerglings have range somehow, you know? Like, they're just stronger. We are going to see that Nidus Worm coming down, and that is a great way to try and steal a game. Oh, the Oracles. He's got something. He's figured something out. This is a very fast layer. Stasis Ward does get dodged. Oh, does he drop the Revelation? Not too sure. Oh, my God, there was a gap in the wall. Oh, the hero wall makes its ugly appearance. This is a terrible start for Hero, but as far as the actual damage he takes, could have been so much worse. Handled it as well as you could expect, but he went for the recall, only losing 5 probes to start. Still, Nidus Worm should be getting thrown down. If Raynor had slipped a Ling into the corner of the main base during all this and dropped a Nidus Worm, oh my goodness, this would have been so good. Nice wall right there from Hero. Oh, actually full walls it. Oh, that's very good. Here comes the Nidus at the 3rd base. That's a lot of queens coming out here. Oracles will clear up the Lings at the natural. Stasis is down. Sentry drops its gets the extra energy there from the energy recharge. Nice force field. Guardian Shield. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing for the queens, but here we go. We are going to see we should see the units get back into the Nidus Worm and go straight into the main. There we go. That is exactly what we're going to see. Shield Battery and Cannon start up, but they are very far from completing. Blink, though, not far from completing at all. Raynor is starting to kind of run out of gas here. Stasis Ward will try and come up. It will complete. Only gets a... Well, actually, it's 4 Lings in kind of a nice position to body block. We are going to see Zealous warping in directly on top of Queen. Shield Battery completes at a very pivotal moment to keep that cannon alive. Will fully drain its energy, but the cannon stays alive for a very long time. Queen's trying to pop out of the Nidus Worm, but this is looking like it has been held. Very well done by Hero and Raynor. He's just going to have to tap out. Hero goes up 2-1. There's an argument to say that it's bait. That one I don't think was bait. I think that was just a certified hero wall. But Raynor didn't take advantage of it the way that he could have. Like, if he had dropped the Nidus in the main during that, that would have been like... That would have won in the game, almost surely. Assuming the Nidus got up. But I think he could have forced it. I think he could have gotten it up. But it's easier said than done. Man, these are fast freaking games. Makes sense, though. Raynor does not want to go late game. Not with the mothership as it is. It was totally an accident, but it happens so often it could be argued. I do honestly wonder if sometimes it is bait, but I legit have no idea. If it were, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be funny if he just came out right and it came right out and said it was bait, and then people were like, they just had to respect it. All right, game 4. With a great defense. Spawning down on the bottom left, it is Hero. And his opponent spawning up at the top right. It's Raynor. Amygdala. Amygdala going to be the map here for game number 4. Hero winning 2 in a row. Solid comeback after game number 1. Even in game number 1, like, he stayed in that game for quite a while. Just kind of stubbornly dug his heels in. And I respect it. I respect it. Make him kill you. Who knows? Maybe Raynor will get frustrated, loses more units than he's supposed to. All of a sudden, Hero holds on 3 bases. Even though he's on a terrible worker count, he's able to rebuild, micro his way through it. And then all of a sudden, you've turned around an impossible game. I think it's all about mindset in those situations. So you go into it assuming that it is not going to work. And then if it does, you're pleasantly surprised. And to be honest, I feel like War Prism Micro, it's pretty gratifying. You just keep your units alive. Feels good. Feels good. Now, if you're me, you try to War Prism Micro, and you just flub it. But that's why we hold players like Hero in such high regard. That Prism Micro, it's excellent. I mean, just pro players in general. They do things that the rest of us just can't. Now, this wall from Hero. I mean, I know we had a Hero wall in the previous game. One good Hero wall deserves another. There are, once again, 2 gaps in this wall. He can put a gateway in front. He can put a pylon behind. He can put a shield battery behind. It's hideous, to be frank. That's interesting, Mr. Midler. That's a funny one. Okay, it is going to be a pylon behind. God, that is just begging to get Baneling busted. I know that Hero will defend it 99 times out of 100. But I cannot look at that wall and say, you shouldn't Baneling bust that. Even knowing full well that it's Hero and that it's almost certainly bait. That one, I think, is bait. I didn't think the mistake in game number 3 was bait. This wall feels much more like bait. Ooh, okay. I thought he was actually going to shade forward there for a second. But with 3 queens and like 6 lings ready to go, you're not getting through there. We are going to see... Oh. Okay, yeah, he's just chilling with the adepts. That is a little bit of a later Nexus than normal. That's like 15 seconds late, something like that. Did he prioritize something else for this? Not quite sure. Oh, drone's going to pull away from the natural. Oracle on the main base is going to drop another stasis. Yeah. Oh, look at that. He's using the shift stop micro. Makes the Oracle just a little bit more maneuverable. Turns on a dime better. Turns on a dime more. Turns more on a dime. Oh, he trapped a probe. That's a trapped probe. That's a trapped probe in 4K. Oh, Oracle goes down in the main. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's super rough. Did not get into what he thought was a safe zone. Instead got into a kill zone. Oopsie poopsie on that one. That's a big mistake. Reminder that this is a $15,000 tournament, so players are not going to be hiding strats. This is a big tournament. And that's why Raynor's already busted out multiple very cheeky, aggressive, cray-cray builds. Actually, I think he's busted out a crazy build in pretty much every game. We're going to see +1 missile come in. This is the first game where you haven't seen a super fast layer out of Raynor, I think. Oh, that's a lot of dead probes on the other side of the map. Oh, that is a lot of dead probes. He's also going to get some stalkers. Oh, wow. 2 stalkers going down. Going to wrap around on some other ones. We will see Adepts shade forward, but there are Lings ready to greet. Adepts get into a bit of a pocket, but not the best one. Oh, man. 11 probes go down. The Adepts are going to get cleaned up without killing, yeah, I think even a single drone. They got at most 1. That's... Oh, that's almost definitely us going to a game 5, I think. Hero behind it says, well, okay, I'm behind. Let me just see if I can skip straight to air. A second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. I mean, it's the same kind of mindset as game 1, I think, where it's like, well, I'm dead. I'm technically speaking dead. If everything goes normally, I will not win this game. So why not take just a gigantic risk? I think that's the kind of thing you should do in a situation like this. Unfortunately for Hero, Raynor is probably not going to want to go late game even normally. And why would you let your opponent go to the late game when you're this far ahead? But the counter argument to that is, I'm this far ahead, I don't need to rush to try and end the game. The thing is, I think just the threat of a mothership being out on the field and the threat of your opponent getting up to carriers or tempests should be enough to initiate an aggressive attack. It is going to be carriers, by the way, out of Hero. Oh, he's supply blocked, though, while trying to build the second one. Does not have the ability to start that. Raynor did get an infestation pit and did drone up to 80, even adding a couple more drones now. This definitely feels like he wants to go for like a lurker play. I don't think Raynor has scouted what his opponent's doing just yet. There we go. There's the lurker den. Hero gets to see that a hive is on the way. 7:56, by the way, the timing that those rocks in the middle of the map die on their own. The debris. Hydra speed will complete. Hydra range coming in behind this. The cannon. Oh my god, tanking so much damage. Shield battery is recharged just a beat too late to save that cannon. But Lings, Hydras, will they be enough here? Both Oracles fall. Stalkers are getting whittled down heavily. There is a carrier now out. But that supply block that blocked the second carrier from finishing. Gonna hurt Hero a lot. And already we see... Oh no, never mind. The second carrier is like already out. Oh, okay. He must have chroned it really nicely to get them to balance out. Regardless, most of the interceptors are already gone. And even as a couple Hydras get chased down by some Stalkers, more Ling reinforcements show up. 18 probes have fallen here for Hero. And Raynor behind this has added on the Spire. So he's ready to go into Corruptors to finish this game up. I don't even know if he actually needs them, as he once again clears out the entire mineral line. Once again, it kills pretty much every interceptor. Good kiting and hold position, Micro. Charge will complete for Hero in a moment. But Raynor is not going to let Hero win this game. That's just simply not happening. And we are on the verge of going to game number 5. Carriers may end up cleaning up these Hydras. Oh, that shield battery getting recharged again, but the carrier still goes down. It is going to be a lot of dead Hydras, but it's, once again, supply is telling a very honest tale, and that is that we are going to game 5. Raynor looking stone-faced. Yeah, I think the cost of not being happy is just too high. I think it's just too high. Nah, Raynor wants to finish so he doesn't have to face the mothership. For sure. For sure. Cheeky, cheeky Big Rick TV. Looking stone. I would never. And I don't think he would either. Not before an important match. Game 5 on El Dorado. Just gonna let the ads run their course, and then we'll get into the game. Hero looked hotboxed. Kick. Kick, kick, kick. Is there another series later? Yeah, we'll be getting Cyril Max packs. For the second time in a week after not playing in like 15 months. Uh-oh. Whoa. Yeah, we're getting quite a bit of snow. Quite a bit of snow. All right, game 5. Here it goes. There he is. It's Hero. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left. It's Basilisk Rainer. Hero, of course, a part of Weibo Gaming. Wow, he sent the probe across the map so fast here on El Dorado. I believe this is the first game in this series that he's actually getting a hatch block. And once again, this is the second, or, oh, yeah. This is game 5. This is for all the marbles. Winner advances on to the upper bracket finals. Loser gets dropped down to the, well, lower bracket finals. Now, what are we going to see here coming in from these two players? Obviously, you can take advantage of the gold base. You can get some nastiness going. Get some shenanigans. But Rainer not going to be going that direction. At least it doesn't seem like it just yet. We do see the quick chrono on the Adept. That is, generally speaking, a really great play when you've hatch blocked your opponent. Doesn't mean the Zerg can't defend. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get damage, but you definitely increase your chance of doing so. And I'm a big fan of kind of saving this pocket play for the final game of the series. We are going to be seeing Creep Tumor dropped from the main. No Creep Tumor at the third just yet. Lings, though, are in position there. Oh, nice pullback on the Lings of Rainer. Oh. Ooh, a little bit of a misstep there. Loses one Ling on a bit of a bad rally. Hero is quite supply blocked, actually, at 46. Oh, that's really rough for him. Nice surround coming in for Raynor. Funnily enough, that might actually be a good thing for Hero. Bear with me. Without the loss of that, he gets stopped from building probes for a little bit. Obviously, you still want to keep the Adept alive if you can, but a silver lining there for Hero. He wasn't supply blocked for a crazy amount of time, but definitely worked out better than it could have. That's for sure. You never want to lose a unit like that, but yeah. If you're going to lose one at any given time, right when you're about to be supply blocked, and keeping you from being supply blocked, especially when it's otherwise going to block probe production, yeah, that's about the picture-perfect time. We are going to see Oracles looking to catch some drones on the transfer. Queens have to stay mobile in order to keep those drones protected. Obviously, the Spores do an excellent job of defending the mineral lines, but they cannot protect everywhere. Not unless you build a billion Spores. I was going to say, if Hero actually dives the mineral line here, Raynor would have had an opportunity there to target the low HP Oracle and maybe even get a kill. So I like that Hero did not dive in. That was a very, different kind of Hero than we've seen. Oh, no! The Adept was slightly out of position, then he moves it completely out of position. We are going to see a... Actually, that's not a recall. He built 4 Oracles. This is 4-ical. This... Oh, my God. No, he's building a Pentacle. 5 Oracles coming in. Game 5 means 5 Oracles, apparently, for Hero here. That obviously is going to delay the tech of Hero massively. But he is just such a wild card. Oh, and he's going to get a cancel on this 4th base for sure. So much DPS coming out of those Foracles. And there it is. There's the Pentacle. God, this is just so many stasis wards. And look at this. Behind this, he's getting an insanely fast Templar Archives. God, this is trickery at its finest coming in from Hero. Now, if Raynor were going for a big Overlord Queen draw play, could this find a lot of value? Well, it would be a lot more difficult to do it now because he just lost one of his very high energy queens. Ling's getting into the natural again, though. But there's the recall. Gonna bring back these Oracles. Oh, they're actually kind of struggling to split up. But a good warp in the main middle line. Units in the natural, and Raynor is going to get deflected here. 5 more gases started up all at once, by the way. Every single Ling will go down. Oh, it's going to be a Spire out of Raynor. Storm starts up. So does +1 weapons. Do I like this Spire? I don't think that I do. I don't think that I do. I mean, it'll be nice if he can jump the Oracles. But it's going to be difficult to do it with 1 Hero controlling and 2 with the amount of Revelation. Oh, is he just going to go after the hatch? No. Was just thinking about it. Charge gets fired up immediately. We do have a Robo on the way as well, which is not going to help out against the Muta. Raynor does fire up the +2 melee. He's also finished up that... Well, he's working on his 7th and 8th gases. Oh, these Lings. These Lings got to run away. A lot of Lings going down. Hero is pushing. He's going to be pushing very hard at a very good timing. Right when the Mutas want to be built. And Storm is done. This feels pretty darn scary for Raynor right now. Raynor's gone for a lot of queens. He fires up 6 Mutas now. There we go, spending all of his money finally. This army is not that strong looking, but it is the amount of storms and the amount of Oracle energy that is available that make this army scary. Hero just looking for a kill on his opponent's 5th. And Raynor's just going to give it to him. He's just going to give it to him straight up. Now he sees the Muta as well. Hero takes the hatchery kill and just walks away. Okay. Raynor going to be crossing the map with a bunch of mutas. Cannons coming up for Hero. No Phoenix being produced, but the Blink Stalkers will be back into position here. And Raynor, this is just a harassment squad. Blink forward will not get a muta. Oh, as I say that, he actually goes for 6 more mutas. So maybe he's seen enough to say, wait a minute, maybe I actually should go mass muta. You're not trying to go Phoenixes. 2-1 upgrades are being produced here by Hero. Raynor. Oh, is this a fight you want with these Lings? I don't think so. Oh, man, and the Oracles once again just gunning down those Lings. So much mana on those Oracles. Storm gonna come in here. Roaches don't have Roach speed. Mutas. Oh, they're gonna hold back for the moment. Transfuse will try and come through, but the body block Blink is pretty darn good from Hero. Raynor struggling to control the army. There's still quite a few Storms available. One of the Oracles finally falling, but all of the Queens have died. Raynor's unit control has not been up to snuff this series. War Prism will get taken down. There's still a lot of Storm available. Stalkers are going to start blinking back. There's the Storms on the Mutas. Mutas trying to get in on top of this army, but I don't think there's enough here for Raynor. Roaches are starting to whittle down the numbers. There's only 1 Oracle remaining, but he is going to get the base. 18 drones falling as well. That was on just 3 bases. If Raynor had held it cleanly and kept the 4th base alive, he wins. Almost assuredly. But now, Hero's going to finish up 2-1 upgrades. Oh, is that a Storm available? I don't think so. Look at the spread on these units. Oh, that was a beautiful spread on the Mutas, really mitigating the splash damage of the Archon. And preempting a Storm. Stasis Ward behind this only gets a couple Lings. But Raynor is still very much in an uncomfortable position. 2-1 Blink Stalkers warping in directly into the fight. Raynor loses the 4th base again and is now back down to just 3 hatches. And I think Hero's done it here. I think Hero has done it once again against someone that he just seems to just turn on the jets against. Raynor, if he does go on to lose this game, this is going to be a game that he will want back so desperately. Cannon will get jumped in the natural for Hero. That's going to be a lot of dead probes. Massive blink forward right onto creep into a bunch of +2 melee Lings. Oh, that was a very bold blink from Hero and super unnecessary. Archon's already at the 3rd base, but Raynor might have just gotten second life in this game. 21 probes go down. The problem is, can he hold this main army? Grosabile finds 1 Stalker. Stalker's blinking forward again. The +1 armor so damn good against those mutas. I really think Hero's still got it. 3 observers in siege mode right now. Raynor just cannot seem to squeeze out enough units. There is the blink aggressively into this. Yeah, this ping looks really bad for Raynor. A lot of the times his units are just moving slowly. And it doesn't seem like he's reacting slowly. Regardless, though, this is going to be a series that Raynor will want to forget. I am certain of it. Hero, now kind of walling the ramp with his Stalkers a little bit, will blink out of the Corrosive Biles. And just like that, GG is called. Hero takes the game and the series 3-2. And he makes it 9 of the last 10. Very well done. Very, very well done. I mean, Raynor definitely just got outplayed there. Like, there's no other way to say it. He just got outplayed. I have to assume the ping was really bad for him today. All right, gonna run 3 minutes of ads. I actually think that the mutas were not a bad choice inherently. I think it's more so that he needed to be ready to fight. I got a haircut? I did, but a little bit ago. Don't have faith in mutas anymore. That is actually a game. Well, it's tricky. Okay. Hero going 2-1 upgrades makes it really difficult to play muta, but his upgrades were late. Which means that you can, like, if you're just against 1-0 blink stalkers, the mutas can actually do pretty well. It's the storms and archons that become a big problem. Obviously, the fact that there was no mass Phoenix play plays a big part. But I mean, that game was just super, super messy. And it's entirely possible that, you know, Hero never goes for a big push. They're showing the recap. I actually think against Protoss, it's the problem is because there's now less tools that are super strong against Protoss. Mutas are a lot more predictable. Actually, yeah, this fight. No, it was before this fight. It was the fight before that one. It was just, it is really difficult to fight into, it is really difficult to fight into Storm. Like, extremely difficult. Like, it honestly just feels like there just isn't an answer to Storm now. Your best answer is the Lurker, but did they buff Storm? Yeah, indirectly. I would even say maybe directly. They indirectly buffed it, and they semi-directly buffed it. So, is this the long prophesied major tournament with a Protoss winner? Almost definitely. If Protoss doesn't win this one, I don't know what's going to happen. What did he do to Storm? They gave Protoss the ability Energy Recharge, which makes it so that you can warp in a High Templar and immediately have 2 Storms available. They also made it so that getting 2 Storm is much, much more powerful, much easier because of Energy Recharge on Oracles, which makes it extremely difficult to do any kind of Ling aggression. Really, any kind of aggression in the early game at all is Zerg. I know it's a lot of effort for what little value you'll get, but I would love to see Zergs use Infestors for Fungals just to trade a little better. I don't even know what that would enable you to do, though. If it was a longer lockdown, sure. But it's just, it's just very short. So Zerg can't do early aggression and Zerg can't play late game, super balanced. Barely an inconvenience. Yeah, it's frankly disgusting. I mean, like, I already think the matchup was in a good position for Protoss in the previous patch. And then I think the changes made it better for Protoss, but still, at least in the late game, Zerg either had a small advantage with perfect control or was playable. Now, though, with the mothership as it is, I legit don't think it's playable. And that just makes me sad and angry. Because somebody...
Well, I probably adapted a bit.
Somebody approved it.
My feeling of this patch... Well, I'm going to talk about from the Protoss perspective. I think it's... The energy overcharge is probably the biggest change. And I think some situations it's gotten a bit easier to play. Like, for example, I think it's a bit better to play aggressive as Protoss now. And using the energy overcharge for sentry and force fields. But at the same time, I think it's gotten a bit harder, probably in the two matchups mostly. Protoss vs. Zerg and Protoss vs. Protoss is gone harder at defending all-ins and pushes.
That's crazy, Iba.
Yeah, that's mostly it.
Okay. So it's just like, just like Terran, they have the new cyclones. Do you think the cyclones will give you more pressure in this patch?
I think the new cyclone is worse against Blink, but it's probably a bit better against the Stargate. I don't think Stargate opening is that good anymore. It's very hard to play Stargate. It's almost always better to play Blink. Well, I wouldn't consider my performance that good. I think my PVC could need some practice. And yeah, well, I just need to do better in PVC. I don't think my performance was good. But I was lucky that I made it through anyway. I think if they practice a bit more on PvP, they could take maps against me, but they would almost always have a better chance. Like higher chances if they play their main ways. So I'm not really worried.
Oh, okay. He's talking about if Clem played PvP.
The biggest difference is that you're playing for yourself now mostly. It's not as much pressure as it was in team games, where it feels like
I thought
you
he was
have
just
to do
roasting.
well for your team, and now it's just mostly yourself. I guess that's the main difference.
That's so funny.
Well, I don't really have any plans as of yet. I'm just playing and enjoying StarCraft. In the meantime, well, I'm grateful for all the fans, and the people that like watching me play and just enjoying StarCraft. I'm very glad that people still like the game. Yeah, and I'll try to do my best to give some good games in MC8.
Oh my God, he said, I'm going to give good games. I hope Cyril talks about the mothership. Is this a recent interview? I assume it's right before they played. Wait, did they not interview Cyril?
Yeah, I have adapted after playing some matches. I already played a good amount during the PTR test, and obviously played some ever since. To be honest, I don't think there was any major changes on the way you play. Maybe you delay one queen or so, but for the most part, it is relatively similar on the Zerg side. But yeah, the patch is fine. I like the new maps especially. I'm a little bit sad Pros got some late game buffs, but besides that, it's all fun patch, and yeah, I have adapted to it properly, I think. Well, I guess I don't really personally. I wouldn't
crazy.
go with as far as doing any race switches. I always feel like I would, even if I would be good with one of the other races, I probably still would have a better chance with my own race, just because I'm more experienced with that. But yeah, I think Clem and the people who they just want to show off a little bit and show they can play the other races as well. But he does it very well, so you can't really blame him. But it's not something I would do, at least with my current off race levels. I think my performance in the group stage was fine. I played some good games, but I think I can do better as well. So it wasn't the best performance ever, but at the same time, good enough, and I'm relatively happy with it overall.
Data, I'm gonna ban you.
Yeah, military went smooth.
I'm gonna
went pretty
perma-ban
fast.
you.
I only spent there 5.5 months, so under half a year. Went pretty fast. I technically only did 2 tournaments during my whole stay, so it wasn't too many of those. But I would say practice-wise, it was okay. I think mechanically I did get a little bit worse for sure, just because I played way less than I usually do. But I tried to do some high-quality practice for the most part, and yeah, it was a little bit too little, but at the same time, I think I was able to practice enough to maintain my level, at least to some extent. PWC was a fun event, just like Gamers 8 was last year. It was a pretty good experience. I think it was organized very well. I think the only real downside was there wasn't that many people watching, but besides that, it was a pretty fantastic event, to be fair, and I had no complaints whatsoever. It's pretty different, I would say. I do think having a team format makes it a little bit more relaxing, just because it's not completely up to you. Because when you play an individual league, it's always all up to you, and you kind of have to always perform. But with a team league, you can rely on other people as well, and just in general, having talking who's playing against who, and setting up the matches is a fun experience. And like I said, I think it's a little bit of a more relaxing tournament format than the solo leagues, where you actually just have to always perform yourself. Yeah, just happy holidays to everyone. Happy Christmas and New Year's. I hope everyone has a good end of the year, and yeah, I'll try to start practicing big time again when the next season hopefully starts sometime around next year. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, I hope there's a next season. Yeah, Data, I don't know if you're trying to bait or if you actually believe that. I want to believe that you're smarter than that. I want to believe that you're smarter than thinking that basically invalidating one of the races in one of the matchups is okay for the game. Because you already have a massive overrepresentation of Protoss at like all levels. You basically have a massive overrepresentation of Protoss at all levels. And you have for a very long time. But a very small number of players have managed to perform extremely well despite that. No, there's no adjusting to being unable to play around the mothership. There's no adjusting to that. You're describing a fight where someone got this much stronger. What happened is one got, let's say Zerg was stronger. It's this much. It's off the fucking screen. It's not comparable. You can find builds that kill Toss before Mothership. You say one more stupid thing and you are banned. Because that is the dumbest take I've ever heard. Your argument is, once again, kill them before they get there. That's so bad for the game. That is so bad for the game. Yeah, because the thing is, this patch, so we can have weeklies continue on, even if we don't get EWC. But if the patch is this bad, the game will legit die, and no one will run tournaments. I am telling you that. I am telling you that it will be dead, full stop, 100%. Because no one wants to fucking play Zerg right now. No one. Nobody wants to play the fucking race. It's fucking miserable, and it has been for a very long time. A very long time. And now they have cut the legs off of the very end game of Zerg. Because people on Reddit were saying, well, it feels kind of dumb that a Viper can abduct a mothership. I don't care how fucking dumb it feels. There needed to be an answer. There needed to be an answer to the mothership. Now there just isn't one. And if you don't have an answer to the mothership, you just can't fight the army. It's not, you can't take some okay builds. You can't take, like, you take some cost-inefficient trades. No, you cannot fight it. You just will not be able to. You will lose every engagement drastically. It's insane to suggest that this was an okay change. That's the only change I'm asking for, is to revert that one. That's the only change I'm asking for. The thing is, I don't think we're actually going to see that the best Zergs can compete. I don't think that's going to happen. I just hope the game don't die. Me too. That's why I'm so passionate about this. Because this is the kind of thing that will put the game in the ground for good. It is perilously close. And the thing is, like, I'm... like, it's just... it's just fucking sad, is what it is. Before we start this match, I'm going to show you guys something from one of the games. I'm going to literally show you guys my own VOD. Hello. I was super froggy that night. I just want you to watch this. I'm not going to say anything about it. I just want you to watch it and see what is happening and what... Now, granted, there's no corruptors, no vipers, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Mintler. That's exactly the problem is like this. I legit think this patch might have just straight up ruined the game. Like just straight up ruined it. That makes me like real sad and angry. So let's just watch how this plays out. So Carrier Archon, Mothership Tempest. Now, granted, Zaun is a very good player. Zaun was already in a winning position. I'm not looking at the result of this game. I'm looking at how these engagements play out. And you got to remember, Dark, one of the best spellcaster control players in the world. Prior to this, we had already seen him Neural Parasite Tempest twice, drag them into his army, and kill them. Now with Zaun leaving his Tempest exposed. And it happened twice. Didn't move the needle in the game. Level 1 Carapace just saying? Sure. Absolutely. Once again, this is a very big advantage for Zaun. Nice abduct there from Dark. Grabs an Archon. Zaun says, okay, shouldn't attack up a ramp into Lurkers, Spores, Vipers, Infestors. Let me just set up on even terrain. Storm, nice unburrow on the Lurkers. Gets out of the way. Zaun Revelates. Starts picking these off. Big EMP, or big Neural Parasites. Storms come through. He pulls some Tempests in. That was with Zaun not paying attention. It was a good fight from Dark. But he still can't engage the army. I think we have to fast forward a little bit. And that was with Zaun missing feedbacks, letting the Neural Parasites go through. That was with Dark getting a sneak on him, basically. Let's fast forward to the next time the... I barely even fast forwarded. But regardless, yeah. Next little, like, skirmish that they do. Tempest just chipping away. Nice little run by from Dark. But that's just a distraction because it's what we're more illustrating is the main fight here. Feedbacks come through. Kills like 3 Infestors. This is where Zaun locks in. And now the army becomes basically impossible to fight. Feedbacks once again. One Neural Parasite goes off. Doesn't do anything. So it gets killed almost instantly. Just sitting out of range of everything. Chipping away. Chipping away. Vipers are looking for an engagement. Can't find it. Feedbacks go through. Vipers are now invalidated. We get back to the main fight. Zaun is just being patient. He hasn't dropped his time warp. Look at this. Okay. Dark even neural parasites in High Templar. Doesn't last for long because Zaun controls well. Look at that battle report. Corruptors can't approach the carrier's mothership Tempest because the Archons are underneath. And once again, Storm's carriers. He killed a gas unit there. That's just one example. And there's always more you can do better. Always more you can do better. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Dark's just not on Zaun's level. The thing is, I actually do think Zaun is spellcaster control-wise good enough to battle. Kind of feels like you're relying on your opponent being bad. The thing is, though, like, there's just... Didn't have sufficient anti-air. But, no, being able to abduct the mothership would be enough. Because it changes the whole outlook of the whole matchup. The mothership was the problem in that fight, yes. Because all you need to do is hold the abilities back, and the Zerg can never take a fight. And the whole time, you are just chipping away with the Tempest from complete safety. It's not. I don't want to oversell it because there is work to be done for the Protoss. They have to revelate. They got to feedback, and they got to make sure that their army stays stacked up. But yeah, we'll see the games in a little bit. Yeah, the mothership is the problem. It is the entire problem. I'm fine with Protoss having a strong late game, and I want them to have a strong late game. I do. Legit. And that was just one game. Cherry-picked at a very specific moment. The thing is, though, if you make the Corruptors, you're just getting insane cost inefficiency. Was better when Mothership was -400? Yes. But when it was best was actually last patch, when it was 300 minerals, 300 gas, built fast, or faster. Even if you lost it as the Protoss, if it got you just little teensy bit of value, got all of its spells off, basically, that would fix everything. Or not even fix everything. It's like justified itself. Mothership last batch was in a great spot, I think, from a balance perspective. It was a lower investment. It was just good. It was just a good unit. Not overpowered. I'm legit so disappointed that Reddit was able to influence this into being the mothership into being unabductable. The thing is, I would be totally fine if having abduct the mothership drained all 200 of the Viper's energy or 150 energy on the Viper. I would be fine with that. Did Reddit even ask for Mothership to be unabductable? Yes. They absolutely went crazy for it. They went absolutely crazy for it. No, Gary Organis, Reddit had a lot to do with it. It had a lot to do with it. I don't know if you agree with this, but seriously don't think nerfing Motherships so it can be abducted fixes this at all. I think that's the bare minimum, though. I think without it, the game becomes legit unwatchable. No, I agree with you, Samuel. Yeah, I think Sloppy Donkey, I blame him for this, 100%. I blame him personally. And I agree. I think they should have been banned off the subreddit. It's bad faith. They're just instigating. They're lying with statistics in like cherry picking statistics. It's not the invisibility. It's the fact that there's time warp. For one, time warp is supposedly bugged right now. Is the game done? No. We're getting into another series after this. It's the fact that you can time warp. The fact that it's now a fucking super weapon. The threat of the cloak. Like, it's just everything. Everything about the mothership. Honestly, I think at this point, you probably should just delete the mothership. Apparently, time warp, instead of slowing attack speed by... I haven't tested this myself. But apparently, instead of slowing attack speed by 40%, it actually slows it by 67%. Which is a huge difference. At this point, maybe make it so that air units aren't affected by time warp. I don't know. But, like, that's not enough on its own. You rarely see TOS playing mass air. Excuse you? Also, it's not just you play Terran. Why are you even chiming in about ZVP then? My God. My God. The thing is, like, it's not just about Mothership Sky Toss. It's Mothership plus ground. Like, just the Mothership in general makes it borderline impossible for Zergs to efficiently and effectively engage. You watch all matchups, yes, but until you either play or truly like get into the games and truly analyze in a very serious way, you're not going to be able to recognize like what is happening. And it's honestly, it's pretty clear based on your comments that that's the case. And like, to be fair, when you're not playing on one side or another, it's easy to miss Like, what are the tipping points? What is the crux of a matchup? That's the thing, is at this point, most surface level watching can tell you, once the mothership pops out, the chance for Zerg to win, assuming everything is controlled well by the Protoss, it drops just so damn low. You should host a pylon show about this. I would like to. Because it actually does need to be addressed. And there's legitimately a chance that this is just the final patch of the game. And if it is, I mean, I'm probably done as a StarCraft 2 streamer. I'm probably just done. Like, that's it. Stormgate, here we come. No, I mean, there's a good chance I'll just stop streaming. I'll likely switch to another game, maybe. Like, I'll give it a try. But, yeah, this version of the game is just terrible. What do you make of the Balance Council saying they would monitor this in the release notes? I don't know what they're doing then. Am I going back to my day job? I'll, like, find another day job. We'll see. All right. Well, with that in mind, let's get into Serral Max Packs. Now that I'm super heated about it. All right, there he is, spawning up at the top right. For Sidestorm Gaming, it is Max Packs. And his opponent is spawning down at the bottom left. It is Basilisk Serral. Aligulac has Serral at 84.45%. Aligulac is out of their damn skull. Aligulac don't care about patches, apparently. Thank you, Pashka TLT, for the gifted sub. Thank you. Hey, happy to hear that, Pashka TLT. That is fantastic. All right. Well, let's see what these two can do for us here. Serral and MaxPax did meet for the first time in 15 months. Just within the last week, actually. And MaxPax handed Serral only his second ZVP defeat in over a year in terms of series. The first one had come just the day prior against Hero. We are going to see a Stargate opener here. MaxPax, not what you would call a... Well, he's not a toolkit Protoss the way somebody like... Hero is. Definitely a very different... Definitely a very different approach. Much more streamlined. And I can respect it. I do think, though, it makes it a little bit more difficult to play in, you know, best of 3, best of 5, best of 7 series. But when you have mechanics at the level of a player like MaxPax, you can definitely get away with some repeat plays. Ooh, this is going to be a very fast third Nexus out of MaxPax here. Look at this. Look at this timing. This is nutty fast. 325 and it's already down. Cyril is going to scout that. This was off just 2 gateway units and 1 gateway. Cyril, nice control in the Overlord, just schmoving it around. Should actually be able to get away with that. Stalker has to go so far to the left and right to chase this. That's a nice start for Cyril on the scout and keeping that Overlord alive against an early Stalker opening. Usually you're almost guaranteed to get that first Overlord, so that's very nice. Oh, wow. Oh, this is interesting out of MaxPax. A Robo first. Okay. Well, here I am talking about lack of strategic diversity. But maybe that's not what we're going to see. Maybe we will see something a little bit spicy. He does fire up the Twilight Council behind this. If it just ends up being a Forge, then it's probably just going to be a quick charge. Charge a lot of Archon. But... Oh, for a second I thought he wasn't going to mine that gas to the natural. I was getting excited. It's like, is this going to be a crazy, like, I don't know, 8-gate charge all in? But no, we see that Forge coming down. It is going to be a relatively standard setup of Charge a Lot Archon, and that will be very good against the fast +1 melee build. Not an ideal situation for... Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, this is modified Christianer. Oh, yeah, okay. This is super, super fast Templar Archives. And this is going to be a very fast Archon drop. Mana actually tried playing this against Cyril to, I would say, a fair bit of success. Oh, this is really strong. Yeah, the tell here is that your opponent only gets 1 Oracle. But this is such an insanely fast Archon drop on the follow-up. Now, excellent link position here from Cyril. Will spot this. He's already got some good creep spread around his 4 bases. Oh, man, that is spotted by the Overlord there. Nice job by Cyril. He is pulling these OBs back. Will that be enough? I do like going after the creep tumors here. That's going to make it obviously more difficult to defend with the queens. But Cyril will just very quickly replace. He builds, what is that, 9 roaches? That's a pretty decent setup to deal with this. Archons. Oh, going after that 1 queen. Will be able to get her. Oh, and that's going to be 2 dead queens very quickly. Doesn't even lose hull damage. That is a great start for MaxPax with this attack. And he fires up the Storm as soon as he gets that 200 mineral, or 200 gas, I should say. Zealot Warping at the 3rd base going to be enough to push this back. Is it just me, or did MaxPax cancel charge for a moment? Feels like it's really, really late. But I think it's just that it's just taking a little bit of time to complete. MaxPax trying to get some very fancy Archon micro there with a War Prism, but not able to get the shots off. Cyril will go for an aggressive Queen drop play. It's going to be Queen drop, Ling Roach Ravager. And against this, you're going to be very happy to have that charge upgrade. Storm, of course, will be done. 2 more Dropper Lords being produced here. This is what ZVP is likely to end up moving towards if we don't see a patch in the very near future. Just the Zerg trying to kill the Protoss before they get all their tools. Now, will MaxPax have what he needs to defend? When I think of Cyril as a player, I don't necessarily think of this particular type of thing as his most powerful weapon. Oh, Oracle barely surviving. That's cute. A little bit of creep being dropped. And he actually does drop a tumor there. We've got a Ling drop coming into the main, Ling drop into the natural. Cyril going to try and jump on top of this army. Does trigger the Immortal's Barrier rather quickly. Storm comes in. Will hit a lot of the Roach Ravager. Second one completely is avoided. Oh, that cannon in the middle line. So good for MaxPax. So good in both the main and the natural mineral line. But there is so much supply here for Cyril. Oh, the Stasis Ward. Stasis Ward gets so much value. Lings do drop in the main base. They clear up the cannon, I believe. And the secondary drop comes into the main as well. Cyril, even though this is looking... Well, is this... That is going to be a lot of supply waking up in a moment. An instantly dead High Templar. Archon will finish up its morph, but is there just enough supply for MaxPax to deal with this army? If he had caught half of the army, that might have been better for MaxPax, but he caught like 80% of it or something with that stasis ward. And it lets him get more immortals out, but I don't know. This is looking... Well, actually, hang on. The storms are really big. And there is a War Prism here. Yeah, no, I'm feeling this. Never mind. I'm definitely feeling this for a hold for MaxPax. It's going to take some good Prism Micro, but MaxPax is more than capable. And as he juggles those Immortals, Serral's supply plummets down the toilet. And MaxPax, well, MaxPax is not only held, I think he has more or less secured this game. Serral's going to try and drone out of it. He is on 4 bases, adding on just a couple workers. Very impressive defense for MaxPax. Cannons in the main and natural mineral lines were huge. The stasis ward actually did end up buying at the time that he needed. I always look at just a couple of Immortals in a Prism. To be fair, that was more than a couple. That was like 5, 6. I always look at a relatively small number of Immortals in a Prism and think, it's not that big. And the supply may not be that big, but the power is absolutely immense when it comes to fighting Roach Ravager. We're going to see a Prism into the natural. Oh, Lings will get on top of the Zealots. Prism just flies right by, but it's the Immortal Storm at the front line. Base is going to get clicked down in seconds. And I think... Well, with MaxPax now evening the base count at 1 apiece. Or sorry, 1 apiece, at 3 apiece. Yeah, there we go. GG's going to get called. Yeah, Stasis ended up winning the game. That was a really impressive defense for MaxPax. For sure. Yeah, the Stasis Ward, if that had not connected, Serral might have just won the game outright. Welcome, Genghis Khan. Yeah, I mean, 60 supply of Roach Ravager is not as powerful as you would think. A 60 supply lead. Can I briefly say why SC is ruined now? I mean, if EWC does not end up picking up SC2, if EWC does not end up picking up SE2, and this is the final version of the game we have, you just won't see Zergs play in tournaments at all. They just won't. And so any weekly cups or any like small form tournaments will just be a 2-race game. Yeah. Is there a deadline for EWC announcements? Not technically, but they have their own timer. And there's... I mean, realistically, I'm putting it like 1% that it gets picked up. Honestly. I think it's very, very unlikely at this point. It's not 0, but I think it's very unlikely. There are 5 games left. They've got 1 announcement. Well, all the announcement will basically be by the end of the month, according to their countdown timers. Literally, I think January 31st is the final 2 announcements that they've got scheduled. Why Zerg is weaker now? Well, specifically I think Zerg has been the weakest race. I think it's been very close, especially in the previous patch. But I think Zerg was the weakest race in the previous patch by a very, very small amount. A very small amount. But now I think that it's a slightly... Well, it's hard to say. I'm not sure about ZVT. I'm not sure about ZVT 100%. Like where I would put it. But on the previous patch, I would say it was like 52-48. Protoss versus Terran. Or Protoss versus Zerg. Protoss versus Zerg. Now it feels like it's like 65-35. 60-30, 60-40 at minimum. Maybe 65-35. Since the double Baneling nerf, Zerg has definitely been the weakest race. Yeah, probably, but by like a tiny, tiny bit. They energy recharge made it so that you can't really be aggressive in the early game. Which I think energy recharge is a great ability. I actually really like energy recharge. But the mothership being unabductable means that Zerg basically cannot let the game go super late. Otherwise, they enter into a state of extreme disadvantage, which then forces you to be aggressive in the mid game, or get a massive advantage, truly massive advantage going into the late game. So you have to do some crazy stuff. And now, since the Protoss players know that you have to do crazy stuff, you can just basically brace for it. That's the big problem with it. Aren't I just biased because I'm a Zerg player? I'm a caster way more than I'm a Zerg player. I'm a caster with the preference of wanting the game to be the best version of itself. I want all 3 races to be competitive. I want all games to be competitive. And I see the direction that it's going, and I see that it will not be competitive. I can see the thing, but I'm addressing it because it's a valid point. I mean, I've enjoyed playing TOS more than I've enjoyed playing Zerg in recent history, for sure. But yeah, Zerg is... I would say Zerg is a little bit better in late game versus Terran, with the Ghost being 3 supply, but the Ultra also got, like... It also got hit in the head pretty hard with the Nerf bat, the speed loss, and even Ultra buffs came at the cost of other nerfs, and the Hydra buff also came at the cost of other nerfs. So they nerfed the overall speed of the Hydra. And the Ultralisk, they made it gigantic again. Will this issue be figured out giving Zerg players time? I really don't think so. I really don't think so. Yeah, I just don't see it. Because there's just not anything you can actually do to the mothership. Like, what did he do to Ultras? So they gave them the ability to push units out of the way. But in order to compensate for it, they made them huge again. So their original... So they shrunk them down. You know, I want to say it was a few patches ago. It was a while ago. They shrunk them down to make them more maneuverable. So now they've blown them back up to their massive size. They body block each other more. But they also nerfed the off-speed creep. They're the off-creep speed. For sure. The thing is, I do admit that there's a Zerg bias for sure. But once again, my caster bias in terms of wanting a competitive game that is fair and provides the most entertainment massively overrides that. Massively. I have advocated for Protoss buffs for a while. But I think that they've gone... Well, I don't think... they have gone way too far. It's just been way too much. And it's depressing. Infestor changes from a year ago also reduced that chance of melee reaching stutter step. Yeah. I mean... I laugh when people try to accuse me of having a bias for the race I play when I don't even have a computer. True. All right, well, let's get into game 2. All right, there he is. Spawning down on the bottom right, it's Storm Gaming's MaxPax. And his opponent spawning up at the top left, it's Basilisk Serral. That was looking very promising for him. Even with the good defense in the main and natural from MaxPax. In terms of build order setups, that was definitely working until that huge stasis ward went off. And if it wasn't for that, it is very likely that Serral would be up 1-0 in this series right now. But that is another thing that this new patch has enabled. Is this particular opener that MaxPax went for there, which is a single Oracle into extremely fast third Nexus into a quick Archon drop follow-up. Because you're able to energy recharge, you have so much more energy for Revelation, Stasis Wards. Even off just one Oracle, you just have a lot more utility from that Oracle. Now, Abyssal Reef, an old map. Many people look on this map fondly. I don't. I remember it as an easy-to-turtle map. It's not the worst map ever made, for sure. And for its time, it was okay. But I think there are many better maps out there. But that's pretty obvious here. Now, what are we going to see from Serral here? Will we see him try and get aggressive again in the mid game? Or will he take this one to the late game and see if he can compete? We do see the creep tumor dropping in the main, just to connect up towards that natural. There is a long distance between the third base and the main, as is the case on most maps. This is not an Abyssal Reef exclusive. Fair bit of damage getting done to the shields of that Adept, and that's going to make it so that, well, Serral doesn't really have to worry about too much. Oh, looks like one Ling went down there, so a little bit of an too early of an engagement, perhaps. MaxPax is going to try and take that third Nexus again very quickly. No, okay, second Oracle. Okay. So it is not going to be that, like, 325 third Nexus. Still going to be pretty fast. 341? Yeah, that's quick. That's a zippy third Nexus. Before the third gateway unit, before the second gateway gets thrown down, still very fast. Just got that second Oracle beforehand. Stalker does ultimately chase down the Overlord this time. Serral did a very good job of keeping it alive in the previous game, but there's no option to do so on this map. Just can't really be done. Not unless MaxPax had made a misstep or Serral had kind of put the Overlord in a completely different position. Which, yeah, would have been an option, but then you miss out on all the scouting information, and that's not the most pleasant thing. MaxPax is a part of the new order of 2 Oracle enjoyers. You don't need a 3rd Oracle, he says. You can still put on Blink Stalker Aggression with a ton of Stacies off of just the double Oracle. You don't need that 3rd one. Oh, Oracles. Oh, that was really nice. So the first setup, only getting 1 drone, but the second flyby, because he revelated the Queens, was able to find an opening where the Queens were not guarding. The Spore Crawler had been held back by Serral for a bit. That's quite nice. Serral adds on a second gas and a Roach Warren as well as the layer. Interesting. I wonder if he's got anything planned for that second gas. MaxPax finding some early damage with a build order like the one he has gotten away with is quite nice. MaxPax also a big fan of the... Oh, is he adding more gates, actually? I was going to say he's a big fan of the 6-gate Blink +1 into that Robo style. Doesn't have to go for it. Oh, Oracles will try and get that 1 Queen, but the Transfuse is good. That's a lot of hull damage on the 1 Oracle. Not bad, not bad. Ooh, Serral's going to be going for a sneaky Spire. We'll see if MaxPax can get an idea of this. Does manage to pick off a couple creep tumors with the Revelation, but that means less energy for scouting. Blink Stalkers are going to be moving forward. Oh, that Oracle! Oh, barely gets away. 19 HP. I mean, I say barely. It still was two shots it could have eaten and still not died. MaxPax's going to be putting some pressure on here. There's the Templar Archives fired up. MaxPax's actually sitting on quite a bit of money, and he is going to be supply blocked there. He very clearly wanted to warp in more Stalkers, but wasn't able to do so. Now, this Blink Stalker position, with the assistance of Oracles and Stacies, going to be very difficult for Serral to get a cost-efficient fight into. However, he doesn't necessarily need to, because his opponent has not yet taken a 4th base. MaxPax trying to go after his opponent aggressively. Serral, ooh, Stasis Wards are potentially going to be scary, but he actually threads the needle, does run into one of them there. Will push his opponent off the high ground, and now the Spire is done. Serral banking up quite a bit of money for those Mutas. It's going to be 10 Mutas right away. Oh, but can we find the... Well, can they get found? Oracles? Oh, I would love to check the vision and see if he revelated the eggs. Because if he did, that's very nice for MaxPax. If not, those Mutas are going to be a big surprise. But it looks like he's at least sniffed out the possibility of this as 2 cannons fire up. Good job from MaxPax sniffing this out at least a little bit. Behind this infestation pit fired up. A couple more drones for Serral. He's, well, actually quite a few more. He's going up to going to be 84 drones for now. Mutas will get into the natural, and they are going to be able to find quite a bit of damage. Hydra Den coming in. We also have the +2 missile. Serral, I really love... This is a smooth transition from Serral. Really smooth transition. And now, with nothing in the main base, he had a cannon in the natural with nothing in the main. This is going to be quite a bit of damage. Serral could have potentially turned around and fought that, but he saw the recall. Didn't want to mess around. MaxPax with a ton of Blink Stalkers. And that is... I mean, Serral's just now started his Lurker Den. His Hive is already a third of the way done. Oh, this is, on paper, extremely good for Serral, I feel. Got 8 probes. Keeps most of the Mutas alive. They're going to be a threat still. and has forced out a ton of Blinky Boys. MaxPax is not even thinking about a transition to deal with lurkers just yet. This is an extremely strong play from Cyril and an extremely good position he finds himself in, but it is still a 4-base Protoss. I don't want to write MaxPax off by any means in this game because the lurkers aren't out yet either. Ooh, nice little find from MaxPax here. Able to pick off at least one Muta, might have gotten 2. Groove Spine's going to complete. Oh, we do see the Archon getting magic boxed. Storm, well dodged by Cyril. Oh, that's range done, but no speed. Thank you very much, Jazzvan, for the Prime resub at 5 months. Really nice arc from Cyril here. That is a lot of Storm energy available. Stasis Ward going to be good as well. Feels like very little has died for MaxPax. Finally, one of the High Templar goes down. MaxPax controlling nicely. And with no Hydra speed, these units are struggling a little bit for Cyril. The Muta's looking to intercept reinforcements. Oh, Storm on the ramp going to be difficult to avoid, but it's a good spread from Cyril. I still think Cyril looks like he's going to have enough to hold here. And now +2 missile kicks in. Bunch of Lings are here. That's a good stasis ward. One of the Oracles was taken down. Second one did get, just barely got away. Cyril holds a very committed attack from MaxPax. And now gets to start up his... Well, actually, he's finishing his Hive Tech Lurker transition. Adaptive Talons fired up. This should be a very one game. This should be completely over. There's no Stargate transition. Yeah, Cyril should just be able to go with this first round of Lurkers, and I don't really even see what MaxPax can do to stop it. Excellent game from Cyril. The Muta transition did a really... Well, really got some work done. Not just in terms of the actual physical damage, but in terms of the response it forced. Fleet Beacon is coming up now. Cyril going to be able to siege from the low ground with those lurkers, putting a couple of Lings and Hydras here as well. I think Cyril can maybe just attack full force at the front, though. Oh, we are going to see a Warp Prism trying to buy time. Only 2 probes going down. A lot of lost mining time, but not the biggest of deals. Cyril says, I want to know where your army is, so he draws it all to the right, and now might just shoot right up the gut of the natural. There's not a lot of lurkers here, though. Cyril taking a little bit of time to get in position. MaxPax not putting those probes back to work yet. There we go. There's more lurkers showing up at the natural. MaxPax putting... That's funny. Some of the Zealots are on hold position. Oh, it's going to be a surround attempted, but I think that's too many lurkers. It's a very pretty engagement from MaxPax. Cyril targeting down the High Templar with the lurkers. Does get a few of them, especially as they were super bunched up, but it's still going to be a break for MaxPax. However, we have to ask the age-old question, at what cost? And the cost is simply too great in this one. Another High Templar goes down. One of the Immortals barriers is popped. Actually, I guess both of them are now on cooldown. Cyril fired up +2 melee after his +1 melee completes. Mothership is trying to complete, but Cyril, I don't think he needs to give his opponent time to let that Mama Ship complete. Yeah, this is going to be a dead 4th base, almost for sure. Bunch of probes stacked up on that gas, just trying to avoid the fight. I think it's a wise decision to pull back from that, because 1 or 2 lurker spines, and that's 20 plus dead probes. You don't want that one bit. Yeah, the Immortal transition has come through for MaxPax now, but it was just a little too late. Storm on the ramp. Cyril just retreating back with a couple of his units. Mothership is now on the field. And there's that cloaking field getting activated, but there are 4 Overseers. MaxPax, he knows the writing's on the walls. Cyril gets that kill. Begins a series of 1 apiece. Direct. I'm not sure. This is a replay cast that I am doing. Hey, thank you, Greyest Wolf, for the Prime sub, and Old Boy for the Tier 1 resub at 19 months. Just play like Zero. Yeah, exactly. The classic. Hey, glad you're enjoying. Eric on YouTube. This series was played earlier today. I agree, Rigel. Why'd he quit? I'm just gonna let the ads run their course. Actually, I guess it's fine. All right, here we go. Game number 3. Spawning up at the top right, it's Max Pax, Artenis. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left, it's Basilisk Serral. In the red. Looking maybe a little bit frustrated. Or maybe just focused. Yeah, I think it's fair to say he's mostly just focused. Well, we'll see. We have seen Serral frustrated. Clem definitely was able to fluster him a little bit at EWC this past year. Now, I do like that we've seen already 2 different openers from Maximus Paxmus. It's nice to see. Nice to see. This is indeed a best of 5. Max just trying to be a nuisance there with the probe, the early bit of harassment. Obviously, always a great play if you got the APM, but not super easy. Us slow old folks, we can't keep up with these youngsters. Max Pax, one of the new generation of superstars, and a fantastic player. It has been amazing watching his growth. He's really freaking good. I think his next stage of growth has got to be basically what Serral underwent. And that is the part where he started getting really strategically diverse. Serral, that is. That was a cool arc. I really enjoyed that one a lot. Watching Serral's evolution. We're going to see the first Adept just shading backwards. Serral doesn't even need to let it... it doesn't need to let it kill a unit, and we'll be able to avoid that easily. This time, is the Adept going to shade forward? Yeah, just going to put itself into a pocket. See if it can grab a drone somewhere, a little bit of distraction. Oh, does grab one, well, 2 tumors. It's going to be a very fast, very, very fast Evo Chamber out of Serral here. Going to be going for that fast +1 melee, surely. Yeah, there it is. Oracle. Oh, we'll be able to drop the Revelation. Man, look at that positioning for MaxPax. Only like 2 Lings can hit that. We'll still get cleaned up. But that is quite a nuisance. Oh, we're schmoving. Will be a scout into the main base here, and once again, it's going to be a 6-gate Blink Stalker play. Normally timed layer from Serral. Already on 60 drones. Very nice drone count from Serral in the early game. Has not taken any damage from these oracles in terms of workers. That's a good start. Great start, even. It is worth noting that this map does have the high-yield gases. 4 of them, 2 per side, assuming everything goes according to plan. But, well, it never does it? It never does. It's always not according to plan. A lot of Lings being produced here from Serral. And that is, of course, enabled off of this very strong economy he set up for himself super, super early. Stalkers moving forward. We do have a Robo and a Templar Archive started at the same time. Hydralisk Den nearly completed for Serral. Couple of Stasis Wards getting set up. Ooh, a little bit of Ling Bane pressure. That's going to be able to blast down potentially quite a bit here. Nice warp in of Stalkers, but only a couple of them going to get away. Blink not quite done. It will finish just a little bit too late. Both Stasis Wards not getting too much work. This is looking very good for Serral. Very, very good for Serral. Nice warp in on the Stalker in a really good position. Zealot as well, but that was honestly, that was a really nice defense for MaxPax, but it is still going to be, I think, advantage Serral overall. Recall comes through. Serral did drone up to 78, added another, 10 drones there? Now he's going to add on the +1 missile, grooved spines, and a good number of Hydras. Whereas Maximus is adding on that storm upgrade. Bane speed just now starting up. A bunch more gases for Serral as well as that 5th base. So he is powering pretty hard. Does have that infestation pit. We'll see if he ends up going for... Oh man, no spore at that 3rd or that 4th. It already got exposed for a couple drone kills earlier, but now he gets even a couple more. Kind of surprising, to be honest. Oh wow, 16 more drones. Okay. Damn, this is gonna go late. Serral says, let's dance. Storm will land on a bunch of Lings there. High Templars don't want to have to use up all their storms. He will end up being forced to morph on Archon. Very good positioning for MaxPax on those units. That was excellent. Not letting those Lings and Banes find the value they're looking for. +2 missile fired up here for Serral. So he wants those more powerful Lurkers and Hydras. MaxPax, supply not the highest, and he did just use a bunch of storms, but he might be thinking about getting aggressive. That would be kind of wild as far as I'm concerned. Fleet Beacon coming in for Maximus. Oh, War Prism gets spotted on the side. Oh, Storm. Well, it's not a bad one, but not amazing either. Oh, Banelings. Oh, not getting much there. We do see a Spire starting up. There is that Mothership. Cero has been looking for damage with these Bane run-bys. Has not been able to get almost anything. MaxPax has been on top of absolutely everything. Gotta hand it to him. Good job triggering the Stasis wards here. Banelings will try and run in here. Oh, Stasis. Stasis is going to hit the Banes. Oh, that's very nice. Good job on the defense once again. Out of Maximus. Banelings will... Oh, they will actually kill the cannon. But no probes. Good pull. Oh my god, these storms are just money. MaxPax very content to just defend, and now he's got his second and third Stargates done. He knows he doesn't really need to attack. He can just keep skirmishing. He's just looking to get up to those Tempests. Oh my goodness, the storms are once again significant. Cero going to try and get in here on top of this mineral line. Lurkers will set up. Ooh, storms. He blinks forward and on top of the Lurkers. That's expensive, but he does manage to get away with the majority of the units. Could have been a lot worse for him. Fifth base of MaxPax will end up getting denied, and it's actually killed, not canceled. It adds up. Every little bit does count, especially at this level. Three Tempests coming out at a time. Once again, more Banelings rolling in here for Cero. This time he actually will get a couple probes. But is that enough? Is that enough value? I don't think so. Cyril is doing a phenomenal job of denying the fifth just over and over. Now he finds the Prism. Oh man, he is really putting MaxPax to the test with the multitasking. MaxPax so far has done a really good job. Mothership is out. We do see 5 Dropper Lords starting up here for Cero. I would really like to see what the resources lost is, because at this point I have to assume it's very good. There is no Mothership here on this bottom side with the army. A couple of... Well, actually, there's like 3 High Templar with a lot of Storm energy. And quite a bit of... Oh man, that is so many storms. But is there enough to keep the army alive against the Corruptors? There's one Archon. It looks like... Oh my god, it got a huge blast on the tail end. Cyril will be forced to retreat. Even without the Mothership there, he struggles to get a cost-efficient engagement. But it looks like he sniped detection. Still will back away. He did lose his base on the top left. Cyril getting knocked back down to 6 bases. There's also a run-by at his third. Lurkers. Oh man, big storms. Keeping those Lings at bay. The multi-prong attack coming in from MaxPax. Nice burrow on the Lurkers. He tried to target down the Lurkers, but they got burrowed too quickly. However, he gets the base instead, which is the bigger plum. Corruptors coming in. We will see the recall. Oh, he looks like he did not recall to the mothership. Instead, he's pushing with a very small army, but there's a lot of power here. 2 Immortals, 2 Archons, and a bunch of Storms. MaxPax did lose a lot there, but he got a lot of value with it too. Cyril getting knocked back down to, for the moment, 5 bases, I believe. 5 or 6 bases? 5 bases. Oh, big drop coming in. Cyril is really, really putting... He is throwing everything at his opponent. Absolutely throwing everything at his opponent. But MaxPax is so far answering it very nicely. God, look at all this action on the map here. Ling's going to drop into the main base. Recall was already used. Oh my God, that cannon position. Mothership will be dove by the Corruptors. It's a good spread on those Corruptors, but the Storms are going to be heavy. That did kill the Mothership, but it came at a dreadful cost. He will get the Fleet Beacon. That's big. That means no more Mothership for now. Wow, that was a great time to snipe the Mothership, if ever there was one. The big question is, can Cyril actually afford to rebuild? Or did he throw away too much doing what he just did? 6 Infestors being added on. We've also got +1 Flyer Carapace on the way. MaxPax getting more Stargates. Actually, did he lose all of his Stargates? Oh my God, this might have been a masterstroke from Cyril across all points here. Oh, that is a single Artosis pylon defending this, but a nice warp into Zealots right in the middle of it. Says you can't touch this. This position, though, man, the multi-prompt from MaxPax with the attacks. So difficult to engage. No Tectonic Destabilizers, but honestly, I don't even know if he needs it. There's just so much damage from those Tempests, even without the bonus versus buildings. And that is another base falling. Both players are maxed once again, and they have a similar or equivalent bank. Ooh, +3 weapons. Will it get denied there? The pylon is about to get opened up. Oh, does he? Yes, I think he just delayed the +3. Cyril trying to get back in position here. Immortal on a very awkward rally. But not going to be the biggest of deals. There are Neural Parasites available. He grabs 2 Tempests and an Oracle. That's a huge play from Cyril. And that is going to allow him to kill one of his opponent's Tempests. Oh, that's a huge win, but massive storms coming through behind this. Absolutely massive storms. Somehow one of them actually missed that Archon. Oh my, he got the Observer with the Archon Splash. That is something you don't see every day. A knurled Archon. The splash damage killing an Observer. But even with that phenomenal engagement for Cyril, look at the banks right now. MaxPax is so much richer. Oh, that's a big fungal lurker combo. Gets 2 high energy, high Templar. MaxPax, though, even as he loses those 2 high Templar, I still think I prefer his position in this game. He's 5 bases. Oh, he actually does have a little bit of gas still in that main gas that got Ling dropped and killed. He's rebuilt his Fleet Beacon. His Mothership is about to be back on the field. Oh, that was neat. The way the Changelings turned when the Stasis Ward went through. Did Cyril just burrow the drone on the top left? Because there was a Zealot there? I think he did. That's kind of baller if he did. Cyril has just not been able to push out the creep either. There are just too many things to do right now. And MaxPax just has so much map control. Twilight Council is being rebuilt. That +3 weapons was ultimately killed. That is a really nice pick for Serral. He's on +3 melee. Adrenal, I assume he's on Adrenal Glands? +1 Carapace coming in as well as +2 Flyer Carapace. That air upgrade versus air armor is an important... It is an important thing to track. Zealots, Archons, High Templar, and the Mama ship moving around on the bottom side. We got some Spore Crawlers trying to complete here. There's that Tectonic Destabilizers. Very late, but it has come through. Cloaking Field does get activated. We do see there is still an Overseer here, and now the Spore Crawlers have completed. Big fungal growth on that army. And the Ling run by on the top side, going to get a bunch of Warping and Zealots. That was some huge damage on the army of MaxPax. Serral getting the first truly resounding victory in this game. Actually, I mean, getting that Ling drop into the main was a very big find. Oh, we are going to see the Tempest able to take down that freshest base of Serral. It is 2-2 for the air of Serral, by the way. Now with that +2 Flyer Carapace completing, that's very nice upgrades. MaxPax will complete his +2 air, but right now Serral is ahead even once that +2 kicks in. Tempest kind of running into the spores. Oh, fungal growth on the Archons. Mothership not here. Means this is going to be another good engagement for Serral. Oh, recall to the top side. We'll be able to save that topside base. MaxPax still on a good-sized bank and now is on 6 bases and continues to hold that 6th base. Had to mute myself. I sneezed. Tectonic Destabilizers. My... Okay, no, it wasn't on full HP. Oh, we are going to see... Recall comes through the secondary recall. Mothership drawing the army to the bottom side. That is going to get Serral very out of position. Broodlords will move up to the top side. Surely that is going to be a dead base on the top side. So at the very least, Serral should be able to trade, right? Neural Parasites are available. Time Warp will get dropped. Lurker Spines being dodged by the Archons there. Oh, Microbial Trap comes through, but I mean, with this number of Tempest, does that even actually keep them from getting one-shotted? I'm not even sure. 22 drones have fallen during all this, and MaxPax's bank is just gigantic. Serral, I mean, I don't think he can engage into this. The Archons, the Mothership, the Tempest, the High Templar. You just can't pick the fight. He did slow down MaxPax's mining, but MaxPax still has a ton of minerals. Not a lot of gas. That is Serral's saving grace right now, is that MaxPax is mostly out of gas. But if Serral cannot deny, 1, the rebuild on this 6th base, and 2, the taking of the 7th base, he needs to deny both of those. Otherwise, I think MaxPax... Well, I think MaxPax might have already... I mean, it could come down to one big fight. Revelation is good. Fungal growth's being thrown out by Serral, trying to get after some of these units. Serral on just 35 drones right now. Bunch of cannons being produced here by MaxPax. Lurkers are sieging that topside base, and they do get the takedown. But MaxPax has that base on the right, and it has a bunch of cannons. that have just completed. Going to make it a very difficult proposition for Cyril to attack it. 3 more infestors being added on by Cyril. He's got almost no minerals to speak of, but still a significant gas bank. MaxPax knows that if he just sits back and can just defend his newest bases, he's cruising. That is the deadest lurker of all time. And it's gone. Doesn't quite manage to kill that one cannon it was working on, but it got the base. That's the big deal. Oh, fungal growth being thrown out from very far away, just hoping to get a lucky fungal. We're going to see a potentially... Yeah, that's going to be... He might just click down this hatch with the Tempests and then recall to the bottom side. Broodlord's going to get chopped down. We do have a Viper here. Oh, look at that Corruptors on the bottom side. No, he had them in position to try and block the recall. Oh, that's a huge fungal growth. But there is the recall. Only one Tempest going to actually fall. Cyril will find an Observer and an Oracle. But that Mama Ship, MaxPax is making that baby sing. The base and its one gas will get taken out. The other one is obviously already mined out. And just a reminder, if a unit is recalled after it is knurled, it will not get recalled. But if a unit is recalled and then knurled, it will get recalled away, and the knurl will break. And the unit will, of course, be returned to its original owner. MaxPax just continuing to build a mineral bank, but once again, no gas bank. Cyril on 158 army supply. He is just looking for one big super punch. I wonder if he can get it. MaxPax is doing an excellent job of staying ultra mobile. Cyril finally going to secure this base on the top side. Right proper. Actually, I guess he's just held that base. 3-3 is done for Cyril's air, by the way, against 2-0-1. No armor, no +3. Cyril's air units are far superior in terms of upgrades. And also, no carriers on the field just yet. They are just now started. Archon's going to try and get in on the back line. Oh, did he just drop a blinding cloud there? No, I don't think so. No, Viper still has full energy. That's just literally the appearance of the terrain on the map. It's just like a bit of greenery. Oracle does revelate the infestors, which is huge. Those infestors getting neural parasites has been Cyril's key to success so far. MaxPax just chilling. Chilling, getting more cannons. Taking another high-yield gas base. Cyril will be able to deny this cannon. And, can he get that base? No, not going to be able to get it. MaxPax will keep it alive with the Zealot Warp in and the reinforcements coming back. Cyril does ultimately save 2 of the 3 infestors. A lot of observers here with this army to make sure there is detection. And MaxPax will blast through there. Cyril never got the +3 missile. So his lurkers could technically be even a little bit stronger than they are. But MaxPax also never got armor or anything past +1 shields. So his units are not as beefy as they could be. Damn, this game has been an absolute banger of a match so far. Excellent army movement and rotations from both players. Ooh, we are going to see a break attempt on this bottom side. The lurkers are on their lonesome. Broodlord's getting found on the top side. He gets 1 or 2 of them. Zealot Warp in. I don't think that's quite enough Zealots to deal with those Zerglings. But it looks like Cyril disagrees as he does pull back. Oh, Tempest going a little bit too far forward. Serral will get a Neuroparasite on one, a kill on another, Fungal Growth on the rest. Oh, he recalls to the mothership that is right next door, and actually does save one of the Tempests. Wow, that ended up being a technically worthwhile move. Broodlord's shelling down the static defenses here, and Serral is starting to make some big headway. Very nicely done from Serral. Oh, he clicks down the Nexus. Will he get it? No, it's... Oh. Oh my god, it's so close, but it survives. Still, I want to say like 5 Lings can just move in and kill that. Serral has spent his immense gas bank, by the way. It is gone. And Maxpax is... Once again, he is still so rich. Fungal Growth coming in on the backside. First feedbacks we've seen in quite a long time from Maxpax. Oh, we do see the Fungal Growth. The Archons were not there to cover, and no storms came through. None whatsoever. That's the first time I've seen someone able to engage into the mothership without taking a disastrous engagement. Maxpax not able to get any storms off. And his Archons were out of position. Serral punishes huge. Oh, Fungal Growth actually does miss the Archons, but he will be able to grab one of them. It does get saved, though. Hydras and Lings going to jump on top of the army here. Oh, man. Even now, even with that amazing engagement for Serral, this is such a difficult situation to close it out. The spread on the Corruptors, I should say, going to try and dive on top of these Tempests. The air upgrades are making such a huge difference in these fights. Maxpax is going to counterattack with a bunch of charge lots. Caustic Spray taking down the Nexus. Serral is really making moves in this game. Oh my god! Oh, that's a huge shot on the Corruptors by those Archons. That was a massive bit of damage, but Maxpax is going to tap out. Yeah, I think Serral's confused. I don't think Maxpax was dead. Maxpax was not dead. Maxpax was not dead. Yeah, I don't think Maxpax was dead at all. I don't think he was. I don't think he was. We'll take another look. I'm gonna run some ads. I really don't think he was dead. I don't blame him for losing, because that was a really, or for GGing. That was tough to keep track of things. He is only mining on one base, and he did just lose a base that had gas mining. Gas mining is the most important right now. Serral is still mining on the top left as well, and he's taking another base. I think if it literally was not for that Archon blast on the Corruptors, I would say it's GG. How many Corruptors are left? The thing is, even with the loss of that base, Maxpax is still mining the same amount as his opponent. There's no doubt Serral took an advantage here. No doubt. I cannot show a units tab, unfortunately. If one more Archon Blast goes through, that's another, like, 5 dead Corruptors, by the way. Yeah, this is not over. I don't think, anyways. But I also don't blame MaxPax for GGing out here. This is really hard to say. And even if it's not over, he's in a position where Cyril has the advantage. This engagement, though, where is it? I think it might be this one right here. MaxPax's Archons are just a little bit too far back. He's got no mining, Cyril does. He had one base. They both had one base mining, basically. This was MaxPax's biggest mistake in this game. Cyril had no gas either. The bigger issue is actually the air upgrades. Yeah, MaxPax's Archons were not far enough up, I think. And the mothership just wandered away. MaxPax came over to Roddy's chat and said, I left early. I didn't realize how close it was. I had a fair chance on winning. I agree. I agree. They both had the same amount of gas mining, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this was MaxPax's biggest mistake. Right here. Tempest go too far forward. How many Tempests does he actually save there? Just the one. I don't know enough about New York, the boroughs. Probably wherever I could watch the Mets. Yeah, right here. Actually, yeah, this was the biggest. Yeah, this was the biggest mistake. So the mothership gets fungled, and then the Archons like basically everything abandons the mama ship. Also, I don't think he should have feedbacked here. I think he should have stormed. He did storm, but he should have stormed more. He storms one more. Does he have Time Warp available? No, I think he popped it. $29.17. Yeah, so it just... Time Warp was like 4 or 5 seconds away from being available. Yeah, MaxPax's army was slightly mispositioned, and Cyril punished it huge. This was really, really impressive from Cyril. I legit can't believe he won that game. That was incredible. War Prism Harass could have been good. Yeah. Yeah, Cyril's Infestor usage is really impressive. Best of 5. It is. Until MaxPax made that mistake, the game was like more or less his. Raynor, I think Harsum and Lambo wanted to resume this because Roddy was pretty sure MaxPax was dead and they wanted to prove him wrong. Yeah, I think he's... No, I think he's was definitely fine. All right, spawning down on the bottom left, it's MaxPax, and his opponent in the bottom right, it is Cyril, going up 2-1. And yeah, apparently MaxPax feeling like he left too early after this one. And I have to agree. I think there was definitely... I think that was definitely a playable position for MaxPax. Not an easy one. And it is Cyril on a ton of infestors, a gigantic army with a slightly bigger army supply than you do. Both players on a bad economy. But I do think that was playable. But it was definitely going to be a difficult game, for sure. Definitely going to be a difficult game for MaxPax there. He did play very, very well for a lot of that. Really nice army splits. Some great recalls away from Cyril's army, using, a portion of his army to threaten on one side and then recalling to another. But, I mean, Cyril's play was... That was... Even for Cyril, that might be one of the best late games I've seen from him. And that is an extremely high bar. That was a very impressive play from him. Constantly sharking around with the army, even with an economy that was absolutely, crippled. He still put together a truly impressive showing, even as MaxPax continued to batter him from all angles. Just goes to show the age-old adage, just play like Cyril, continues to ring true. But we'll see if he can actually close out the series here. Once again, that was MaxPax in the driver's seat for a lot of that game, and he was definitely in a winning position for I would say the majority of that game. It was a few missteps on the top side that enabled Cyril to get the good engagements he needed. And then I think if it had just been the one bad engagement, it would have been fine. But it was the second bad engagement afterwards with the mothership that where he lost it. And things really just spiraled out of control from there. Now, we are going to see a Void Ray coming in out of Maximus Paximus. This is, I believe this is his first game opening Voids. First game opening Void Ray here. Can he find a second Overlord? Obviously, you're... Wait. He didn't find the first one. I mean, I'm sure he's looking... He knows that the first one is there. I do think that this is a cool play. I think this is a great play. And I think he actually did it against Cyril last week. Oracle will just fly right past the Queens. Gets 2 drones. Void Ray getting the first one. Oh, very cute move. I do really think the energy recharge usage is important. Now, this is a bit of information for Cyril. he is going to see that there's no third Stargate unit added. And that is the cost of the Void Ray going straight across the map and ignoring this first Obi. Oracle looking for an entry into the natural. That's crazy. He's actually used up all the juice on that Oracle already, despite using the energy recharge. That is a lot of gateways coming down very early for Max Packs. Okay, there we go. There's the Blinking +1. Oh, it was a cute attempt on the Evo Chamber morph. But of course, with Prismatic Alignment, you get that bonus damage versus Armored, which of course the buildings are. And there's no way you're going to be able to take that down. Or, well, nobody you're going to be able to save it. So, good decision to just go for the cancel. Oh, can they get a jump on this Queen? Second Queen shows up and Max Pax realizes, yep, I can't take this fight, just backs away. Obviously a wise decision there. Layer does complete here for Serral. He is adding on that Roach speed. If he plays Roach Ravager Ling Bane, that would be the first time this series that he's doing so. Oh, it is going to be the Infestation Pit coming through. Void Ray just looking for any unit kills it can find on top of the Watchtower. And, well, Serral was able to clear up the Adepts first. There it is. There's the Robo and the Templar Archives. Powerful tools. Oh, Void Ray. Oh, nice Evo Chamber morph this time. This time the Queens were close enough to cover that play. After the fast +1 melee, Serral goes right into the +1 missile. He's been doing that a little bit this series. A neat little way to play. Big fan of that as a concept. He does get the Hydra Den and a very fast Hive, but I think we are going to be seeing a Lurker transition. Fourth base will attempt to be canceled here by Serral, but with that Stasis Ward, Stalkers are able to just quickly blink back and save that base. Good job from Maximus Paximus. Stalker blinking high ground, low ground. Serral does end up losing a couple of those Lings. Oh, wow. Wow, that is a resources lost. One Adept for... It was up too short to see, but it's pretty one-sided. However, it's relatively small potatoes. It's not going to... It's not the worst thing in the world here for Serral. He's definitely still in a playable position. There it is, 4 drones. Oh, he loses the 1 Oracle. Oh, that actually kind of outweighs most of the losses for Serral. That Oracle is just so important, and since he only made the 1, that is actually really, really bad for Maximus Paximus. Oh, Stalker blinks forward. Storm. Oh, my goodness. Hey, that's the first time in history a Storm has actually killed a Protoss unit. We just witnessed esports history, folks. For the first time ever, Psionic Storm actually friendly fire kills a unit. For the first time in esports history. Oh, storms on the ramp are going to be difficult to deal with. Good job from Serral. Avoiding that first storm with the Hydras. Lings looking around here. We do have the Fleet Beacon coming in for Max Packs. Serral, Adrenal Glands about to complete. He's trying to come in with a flank. Lurkers are going to complete in a moment. Oh, this push. I don't know if it's got the legs. We do have the Observer getting very low on HP. And actually, there's just an overwhelming amount of Zerg. He's going to smash this push. Oh, this is very good for Serral. Getting those Lurkers up in time for the push. I was focused on the Observer, but it didn't even come down to the Observer. It was just, there was so much more stuff for Serral. MaxPax should not have pushed into that position with lurkers about to pop out. Now Serral sits on the precipice of advancing on to the next round in a fantastic position here. Mothership does get fired up as well as 2 more Stargates. Serral, he has not won yet. He just now fires up the Spire. Gets the Hydra Lunge upgrade as well as that Adaptive Talons for the fast burrow on those lurkers. And that will, of course, allow you to, well, super quickly siege any position. He also does have that gold base up and running. Did not take the back gold, the backwards gold that many of the Korean Zergs, especially Dark, have been favoring. Oh, that would have been really awkward if he loses that Prism. We do have a 6 lurker drop coming up into the main. Oh my goodness, this might actually be what lets MaxPax back. Well, actually, he's not even out of the game. He's already got 3 Tempests on the way. But he does need to defend this push. No doubt. Look at that timing on +2 missile and the Adaptive Talons. Huge storm on a bunch of Lings. Oh, does get 1 Overlord. That's a big pick for MaxPax. Even the Hydra Frenzy upgrade. Dash, whatever the heck you want to call it. We do have the drop coming into the natural. Oh, nice little boost on top of the Tempest, but it will get pulled back and saved. Lurker's trying to zone this position out. We do see one of the Tempests going down. Mothership activated its cloaking field, and the detection is not particularly close here for Serral. Oh, this is seeming like it's just going to be very expensive for Serral. He's going to lose everything. MaxPax is going to hold. $12 Corruptors coming in. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what MaxPax saw. Maybe he had the observer that spotted the Dropper Lords. I really don't know. Would love to be in the game and be able to tell you. Zealots on the top side will get deflected. Oh, well, cleaned up, in fact. Yeah, if that Lurker Ling drop had gotten up into the main base with Adaptive Talons, +2 missile, and +1 melee Adrenal Glands Lings, that could have been lights out there for MaxPax, but instead he holds. Now Serral is in a fair bit of trouble in this game. God, after that defense at Serral's 3rd base, I really thought this one, or sorry, 4th base, the, I guess you would say 3 o'clock position, I really thought this one was over. But evidently not. Ling's in a bit of a tight-ish choke. Well, I guess the Zell is in a tight-ish choke. We do see a Broodlord transition coming in from Serral. MaxPax is ready for this. I have to assume Serral's tried this move against him multiple times before. Lings are going to drop out here. Lurkers do manage to burrow. They kill the cannon, which means no detection. Stalker is going to get blasted as a result. Tempest and Mothership coming back in. Oh, he is going to get the jump on here. Serral, that is, finds one of the Tempests. But that's it. Storms get back in and are going to be able to protect this. However, this is still opening the door for this huge play. Lurkers at home for Serral, going to try and defend. MaxPax. Oh, we'd love to see Serral just click down the Nexus. I do believe he's going to get it regardless. Oh, Storms on top of the Corruptors are taking a grievous toll on them. Meanwhile, that's a lot of Lurkers for Serral at home. MaxPax is not going to be able to push through that. But Serral's gas bank is null. Even as he's killed his opponent's main. Once again, the cost efficiency of MaxPax is just far better. Oh, and now we see the Corruptors on a bad rally. They're going to fly over a bunch of Archon. Well, 2 Archons and a couple of Stalkers. That's like 4 or 5 dead Corruptors there. That's a big loss for Serral. MaxPax is going to warp in at the top side. I think with the... Yeah, that's going to be an easy win for Serral. Not enough Lings there and not warped in... Or not enough Zealots and not warped into a good position. And that's going to allow Serral to find a bunch of additional probes. He's already killed 23. MaxPax rebuilding Stargates. Wait, how many... Did he lose a bunch of Stargates? I know he lost one, but I thought he still had a couple. I guess he's only producing one Tempest at a time, so he must have lost two. Meanwhile, the drop coming back into the main base of MaxPax. Is this enough? The target fire on the Overlord gets the majority of them. Only a couple lings actually get out. And that's going to be enough for MaxPax to hold this. Would love to see a bit of caustic spray maybe on the fleet beacon there and stop the Tempest production in its tracks. Main Nexus going to get denied once more. That means less gas mining, less mineral income. But this is still looking... I think this is still looking okay for MaxPax. As crazy as that is to say. Well, he's got the mothership. And now we've got the 2-army split coming in from MaxPax once more. Time Warp gets dropped. That gets a couple of storms, but that's not the best usage of Time Warp. Cyril trying to pre-spread the Corruptors. He wants to dive on top of this army. Storms are good. Not hitting the Corruptors super well, though. And that will actually be a pretty decent... Oh, there's a lot of Archons here, actually. Oh, who is that going to go in favor of? The Archons actually getting so much work done. And he recalls out with 3 of the Tempests. And the Archons live on the ground. One of them survives. Wow. Okay. I really did not think that was going to go as well for MaxPax as it did with so little storm left over as the Corruptors were finally engaging in. Cyril with a bunch of Adrenal Glands Lings on the top side. They do have +2 melee, about to have +3, but MaxPax reinforcing into this. He's got more supply than his opponent. $30 army supply up at the moment. Cyril, well, he's definitely going to lose this topside base. I think MaxPax might have lost his Observer to a Spore. I saw the Spore shooting something, and I don't think the Tempest got in range. Yeah, base goes down, another 6 drones. Cyril has knocked his opponent back down to just 3 bases. And is current... Oh, no, that gets taken care of. I was going to say it's currently harassing the top side, but Cyril just doesn't have any money. He's lost too much stuff getting the damage that he's done. Neural Parasite started up for Cyril. He's got a huge gas bank, but absolutely positively no minerals. We see Zealots coming down on the bottom side on the gold base of Cyril. A ton of drones are falling. Oh, and I think MaxPax is about to force game number 5. He's maxed out. Cyril just does not seem like he's got anything left in the tank in this one. Seven Infestors get fired up. Ooh, Nidus play into the main, but I mean, I really don't think this is going to get the job done. We do see a bunch of probes getting taken out on the top side, but more drones getting killed for Cyril on the bottom. If he lands some magical neurals, oh, that's a big fungal growth, but the storms are huge on top of the Corruptors. Fungal is very, very nice. There was no parasitic bomb here, but to be honest, you just cannot expect an engagement that good. You cannot expect the Infestors to get those kind of fungals. Unfortunately for Cyril, he bruises up a lot of his opponent's army, doesn't kill it, and you can see the disappointment on the webcam. He says, that felt good. Got the big fungals, but wasn't enough there. And MaxPax? Yeah, I think at this point we are more or less 100% guaranteed to be getting a Game 5 at this point. Cyril will unload some lurkers into the main. MaxPax. He's going to be able to hold, well, take a new base in the middle. Ooh, Neural Parasites. That could still turn this game. Oh, but no. Cyril, he knew he needed to get a complete bamboozle on his opponent. It didn't happen. And we're going to game 5. Cyril is frustrated? Yeah. Yeah. As he should be. As he should be. Reno versus Hero was actually very good, and I actually think I think Raynor could have won game 5. I mean, honestly, you can win every game of StarCraft you play if you just play better. Like, that will almost always be true. Sarah looks really frustrated, by the way. Like, even more frustrated than I yeah. I don't know that it ever consisted of streamers. All right, here we go. Game number 5, spawning up the top right. It is Sidestorm Gaming's MaxPax. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left. Looking very frustrated, to be honest. It is the finisher, Cyril. A hell of a fight between these two. Hell of a fight between these two. Definitely pushing each other to the limit. I really thought that one engagement at the bottom side, and I have been very critical about saying that the Mothership is too powerful in this current patch. Even with that, I thought with the jump Cyril got on that army on the bottom side, I thought he was going to sweep the engagement, not one-sidedly, but at the very least, I thought he was going to win it quite nicely. But he actually lost that fight. MaxPax recalled out with 3 Tempests. Actually killed the entire ground army. I was very surprised by that one. We do see... Well, we see a standard opening, the new standard. Extractor Trick 15 hatch. Yeah, I'm just thinking over that previous game in my head. Obviously, there's so much that happens. Cyril did make a mistake with his Corruptors flying back over a couple of units in the middle of the map. And that obviously hurts. But I am really surprised that MaxPax was able to still win that game after the pretty disastrous attack on Cyril's 4th base. Like, that felt like, that felt like there should have been no world where he's able to win that game after that point. But he stayed focused, got up to his Tempest, got his Mothership up. And just never lost hope. His defense, his follow-up defense against the Ling Lurker drop from Serral. I actually think that might have been Serral's biggest mistake, is just not attacking the front with everything. I think he could have. Pardon me. But ultimately, it does go to a Game 5 as a result of it. This time, MaxPax says, I'm just killing what I can get. I'm killing the first Overlord right away. If it supply blocks you, it supply blocks you. And it does actually supply block Serral. And Serral has not yet built an Overlord. Oh my goodness. A rare, big misstep from Serral. Oh, that is actually a really bad supply block at 58 to 58. I feel like I never see that. Very nice 4-crawler morph, though. Oh, that's super painful for Serral. 4 Overlords at once right now. Ugh. Seems like maybe he is also thinking about that previous game. Same as I was. It is going to be 4-gate Glaives out of Maximus Paximus, and Serral has been skipping Roach Warren very consistently. Oh, there we go. He does fire it up now. I shouldn't say very consistently. He actually built it in a couple of his games, just a little later than normal. Now, will this be in time? Oh, drone. Oh, it actually does manage to morph into a hatchery. Wow, I thought that was going to die, but the Void Ray's attack must have just barely been on cooldown there. Adepts in a good position, but not quite perfect, and that means we will see these Lings getting a good fight. Here's the problem with the Void Ray Oracle. Nice little wraparound from Serral on the Adept, but as the Oracle comes back home, it's going to be safe and protected. But yeah, here is the weakness of the Void Ray Oracle. Is, yeah, it's the mobility. The mobility and the defensive prowess. Here is this Adept attack coming. MaxPax has masked this very, very well. Serral, oh, this might actually, this might just be a disaster for him. 10 roaches get fired up now, but they mostly just started. One pops out a little bit before the others, and it's instantly blown up. Ling's going to counterattack on the other side of the map. We do see the impromptu wall from Serral, but it's blown up very quickly. Evo Chamber gets killed. A little bit of a misclick on the hatchery there from MaxPax. He's going to start going after drones. The big strength of this is when you cause chaos in many locations at once, and that is exactly what is happening. We do see that Serral has killed quite a few probes on the other side of the map, and he does have a lot of drones going into this. So he can still play out of this if he cleans this up without taking too much more damage. And in fact, if that's the case, I think he actually comes out of this ahead. Oh, the Oracle, though. Oracle on that sporeless 4th base. We'll be able to grab quite a few drones there. And that, I think, puts the tipping point to advantage MaxPax. Behind this, MaxPax has Blink, +1, or, well, Blink half done. +1 weapons fired up. Serral does have the much faster +1 missile and roach speed. And you know what? I think Serral should actually just make some Dropper Lords, get Overlord speed, and just go. Just go with Roach Ravager. Oh, 3 more drones getting picked off of the natural. Yeah, I would have said maybe even not drone up as much as he did. We are going to be seeing the Hydra transition coming in from Serral. Templar Archives about to complete. Charge fired up. MaxPax not yet starting up his +2 weapons. That's a pretty big oversight. Okay, there we go. Fires it up now. Serral did have the faster +1 missile, so he will hold that into the faster +2 missile as well. Counterattacking with a fair number of roaches here. Rather significant number. Lings will trigger the stasis. Only a couple of them getting caught. There is that Roach counterattack on the top side. Oh, is that going to be a cancel on the warp in? No, the shield battery keeps it alive. Good job from MaxPax. Very aggressive move forward. Cyril, is he F2ing? No, he's just retreating. We're going to see him moving in on top of this right side base. He is going for it with this attack. Starts up the infestation pit now as I think he realizes he's probably not going to break this. Oh, I just don't think this is going to work very well for Cyril here. Cannon at the third base buying some good time. Storm misses, but does it really matter? Oh, the High Templar! He loses 3 High Templar for free! Oh, MaxPax! You cannot be doing that in a deciding Game 5. Huge mistake, and ultimately the 4th base does fall as well. A massive blunder, but a warp in does allow for an instant double storm thanks to that energy recharge. And Cyril will back away. Still, that neuters any potential of a counterattack here for Maximus Paximus. Zell's going to get in on top of the third base of Cyril. But a very quick drone pull will we'll save those drones for the moment. Cyril was very right to start up the infestation pit during that attack because now his hive is already on the way. And MaxPax hasn't even rebuilt the 4th Nexus yet. Whereas Cyril is, well, started up a 5th hatchery. Oh, that Void Ray has stayed alive for a lot of this game. Cyril will retreat back. Fires up his own +1 melee. He's been going for that melee attack upgrade or melee missile split. Looked like MaxPax wanted to flank that army and then realized, wait, that army's bigger. If I try and wrap around it on 2 sides, it's just going to break both flanks. So wise pullback. MaxPax firing up the fleet beacon here. Cyril is maxed out with a significant bank. This is a really great position for Cyril going into the late game. Fantastic position. MaxPax, though. Fleet beacon done. There's that Spire coming in for Cyril. Would love to see him fire up Adrenal Glands. Very important, in fact. Not to mention the Hydra Lunge upgrade. Going to be a very important tool for him. MaxPax trying to threaten on 2 sides, but it is tricky to do so without that mothership to recall to one side or the other. Oh, Storm comes in on the Lings. Oh, man. Oh, those Lings just got melted. We'll get 3 of the High Templar for it. 1 in the actual High Templar form. 1 in its... Well, 2 in the Archon form. So it's not totally free. Storm going to push back this army of Cyril and actually gets a fair bit of damage onto the Hydras. Hydra's quite squishy. Notoriously so. There's that +3 missile fired up. Adaptive Talons, the Hydralisk Lunge. No Adrenal Glands still, though. Oh, Storm on the ramp is big. Oh, it's a juicy Storm. Monster Storm. $16 lurkers just got fired up there by Cyril. Oh my goodness. Okay, he is going with that Adaptive Talons timing. He is absolutely going to hammer this one. Greater Spire coming in as well. MaxPax will have those Tempests out, though, in time. Not to mention the Mothership. Cyril's timing, well, it is not finding that soft underbelly that he was hoping for of no Tempests. He can theoretically jump on top of them, but instead says, crap. Well, can't do much here. Don't want to just let my opponent pick away at me. And he just decides to retreat instead. And we may very well have this one going to a much later stage of the game. Ooh, Time Warp comes through. We'll push those lurkers back. Time Warp will be on cooldown for a minute. Serral might be able to do something with that. He's going to try and spread these lurkers at the top of the ramp. Oh my goodness, but they get melted. Absolutely and completely melted. He tried to split the lurkers. That was a mistake. He needed to burrow all of them together. And MaxPax punished very hard. Cloaking Field has been activated. Their Overseer, well, it will abandon the army. And that is a whole lot of lurkers for basically nothing. That is very expensive for Serral. And now his gas bank is depleted on the Remax. Nope. Would love to have seen that resources lost for a little bit longer, but that's okay. We got the multi-push coming in. No lurkers on the right side, which means that this base is... Oh, well, actually, MaxPax doesn't feel like he can go for it. Storm's coming in, though. So many storms. They're not actually landing that well on the Corruptors. And what I was going to say is there's no Archons. Oh, Cloaking Field gets activated once more. There's the Time Warp as well. Not the best Time Warp, but I don't even know if he needed it. And in fact, I would say he did not need it. Probably should have saved it. Cloaking Field does... We do see the reveal coming through. Recall to the army to bring the High Templar back. Corruptors... Actually, what did he even bring back? I think it was High Templar. MaxPax is in between the bases of Serral and is absolutely wreaking havoc. He has played this mothership very well. Oh, meanwhile, Corruptor's going to look for the Caustic Spray on the fourth base of MaxPax. They'll get it, but he's going to lose maybe every Corruptor that went after the fourth. Trying to kill the third base as well, but I don't think he can stop this army. No, he cannot. And GG is called. Serral looking very frustrated there. MaxPax gets it done with Big Mama's house. And MaxPax will take his second series in a week versus Serral. Is the mothership too strong? Tell me in the comments below. We'll catch you on the flip side. That was for YouTube. You and I obviously know that the mothership is way too fucking strong. There are no more games. No, that's the last of the games. Jesus Christ. MaxPax played very well. Very, very well. I don't know, man. That did not feel like... didn't feel like it should have gone that way. I think you, like, just nerf the mothership a little bit. No one talks about the fathership. The fathership left for a pack of smokes a while ago and still hasn't come back. There was a lot more than just mothership that game. Yeah. And I'm not asking for the other stuff to be nerfed. I'm asking for the mothership to not be unabductable. Yeah, energy boost is a really, really strong buff. You wanted to ask specifically about the single Evo? I think the better thing would have been maybe double Spire, but he's trading so aggressively that he doesn't want to slow the game down and get second Evo, I would assume. Because like he's trying to constantly fight. How can one single Viper abduct a hero unit? Make it make sense. They didn't need to make the mothership the way it is now. Not at all. 3 Vipers. Yes, let's make it so that the one unit that's meant to counter another, you need 3 of them, which would make it cost more than the unit it's countering. Now, granted, motherships are obviously, or Vipers are obviously good, and they have much usage. But it's just silly. The best version of the mothership was the one from the previous patch. 300 minerals, 300 gas. I think 2 to 5 Vipers. That's funny. Nice meme. Yeah, the best version of the mothership was 300 minerals, 300 gas, faster build time. Yeah. Good shit. You'd think so, Data ST, but Max Pax had just warped in a High Templar with 2 storms. And he would have had to go through either a choke or go up a ramp. It's just really hard to kill Protoss these days. Really, really hard. Once again, Max Pax played really, really well. Really, really well. What if it's only unabductable during its invisible spell? The best Archon mothership was when it had the Archon toilet. True. Based. For Jumi. Absolutely based. I just don't want to see the game die. And like, I don't know, man. It's just sad. It just makes me so fucking sad. And the thing is, I know that none of the Protoss players were actually calling for this. It was all Reddit that did it. And I just think that's crazy. It's not about the scoreline, though. It's not about the scoreline. And anyone who looks at scorelines in a... anyone that looks at scorelines in a vacuum is not thinking about things. PVZ was already very slightly Protoss favored. There are many things which no one was asking for. Yeah, but I think this one has the biggest impact. I think this one has the biggest impact and is going to do the biggest damage to the game. Also, the game went through many bad meta and did not die. Yeah, but each one of them was during a point where there was a circuit still, and it hurt the game at every point. I still think energy recharge is a really cool ability, and I'm glad it's in. It might be too strong, but... Oh, the depot buff. God damn, the depot buff. Oh... Makes me cringe and rage. Both at the same time. No one was asking for that. All right, I'm going to raid up my pal Sal. He's doing his subathon day 1. Enjoy. Oh my god, he's cannon rushing. Oh, these poor Zergs. Oh my god, he's just winning the game with the fucking cannon rush. Wait. I'm so happy that the turn buff didn't get in. Oh my god, that would have been ridiculous. Would have been insane. That would have been absolutely insane. All right. Not sure when I'll be back. Got some stuff. Yeah, once again, real life stuff, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, it would have been super overpowered. The thing is, like, I'm okay with like little shifts, even though I don't know. I just am so upset that this happened, because like it really just feels. It feels really bad. It feels really bad. Thanks for showing that best of 5 that was epic. It was an epic best of 5. It was an epic best of 5. I just hope that after the top... Actually, will we end up with the top 4 Protoss? I don't think so. I think Sarah will beat Estrella. I think Zaun will beat Raynor, though. Either way, if a Protoss wins this, maybe even a PvP finals, hopefully that'll be enough to get people to be like, wait a minute, what do we do? And the mothership gets reverted. All right, that's going to do it for me. Enjoy my pal Sal. He's doing a subathon. Stay safe.